Humidity 79% right now. That doesn't show a forecast.
Oh God!
Right,
oh, but that's just an indicator of like, oh, dude, no.
So it's gonna be
like I'm gonna be wearing undershirts every day.
So it's not bad. It's mid to high 70s.
Yeah, but if it's like humid, dude.
But it's gonna be very humid. And again, like not a ton of rain, but
because it was in the high 70s in Orlando when I went there for most of the time, and well, the beginning, the first day it was in the high 70s, so I thought it was gonna be fine, and like it was like high 70s with like 89, 80, 85% humidity, and I wanted to die. And then when I got up in the 90s with 85 to 90% humidity, I really wanted to die.
It's gonna be a wet one this year.
It's gonna be wet. It's gonna be sticky,
gross,
sticky, gooey, simmering in our juices.
What's up, YouTube?
What's up?
I'm back.
He's back, better than ever.
Gotta get back. Wait, we're almost to 350.
Yeah, things progressed while we were
look
gone.
What happened.
We did a bunch of shows.
That's awesome.
The world does not stop and start at you.
No.
Yeah, I wore that. Without fail, I wore that shirt the other day, and I go out, and this lady's like, "Is that you on your shirt?" I'm like,
"You're wearing a shirt of you,"
which that's happened multiple times.
You should get a shirt, a BrendoMan shirt, and just wear yourself around. Just like a silhouette of you.
Or just like, what if it was just a photo of me? And just like a school photo. Like, what if it was because I have like a ID. School picture. We go like,
is it you? Yeah.
But I guess I do. Like, now I'm like, if I've been missing out on an easy Halloween costume.
Totally. Well, especially with the hair shaved.
Yeah, now that I got the shaved head, I definitely got to get like a vest.
Yeah.
That'd be super easy.
Yep.
Super easy Halloween costume.
That's good. You could cosplay this weekend.
Entering a world of pain, Smokey. All right. Well, we want to start. The one you commented on, though, was from last year.
Oh, was it?
You commented on last year's, Saturday.
It was weird. Like, when I clicked on comment, then, like, it had a hard time loading the comment thing.
Oh.
And then when it finally got around to it, I didn't know which one it was on.
Well, you were on, 2016.
Well, sorry.
I'm like, oh, does he think that that's the schedule? Does he not know?
No, I just, it just did this weird thing when I did it, where it went to,
site's kind of broken.
And then, it finally went to it. But maybe I, clicked around when it didn't work, and I clicked on the wrong one.
Oh, fuck. Sorry, it's hot.
It's going to be a sweaty one tonight. All right.
You're not really missing much on Sunday.
Yeah, I didn't look. When I looked at it, too, I was like,
I didn't get invited to the. But he said it's because they have too many people. I'm like,
well, they
have less, but they put even less women on it this year, and I'm like, you're not going in the right direction. So Topher can do even more mansplaining. That was the most. I'm glad because that was the most embarrassing thing when this woman asked the question, like, "This is for the mother," and then Topher's like, "Let me take this," and I'm just like, "Is this happening right now?"
Yes.
Oh my gosh! There's a couple pictures even in the people have posted where one of the women on the panel, the look on their face is like, oh my god.
It's good. Take a break. Take a break.
Need a break, Topher. I can't deal with Topher.
What if he's watching right now? What do you want to say?
But it is what it is.
Gotta do what you gotta do.
But yeah, so they're doing their panel. I'm not on it.
Well, you're on one panel.
I am. That's the one that counts, right?
Right. The panel.
I'm still so stoked that because I was like, we didn't get our panel. It's over.
I mean, it's a bummer that it went around.
But the fact that it's
kind of reassuring.
It is very reassuring. The fact that as soon as I said that, he's like, "Oh, okay, here."
Yeah, we wondered why you didn't.
Boom, done. Yeah. And then he promises that next year. I'm hoping next year our panel. I like the 5 p.m. That's a pretty good slot.
That's a nice one, yeah.
Because we've done that before.
It'll be interesting to see how many come. I think we have an advantage.
Well, we've done. I feel like last year we did 7 o'clock.
I think it might have even been 8.
and we had like a pretty decent turnout for
it was like 8
and they were like shocked at how many people. Didn't they like tell us it was like the most people that had been at like a panel after like 7 o'clock that they'd ever seen?
Yeah, they did. So that was cool.
So maybe we can break the 9 o'clock record.
Is there even? I mean, have they even done panels that late? I don't know.
I feel like they go later and later each year.
I guess so. But I feel like with Madeline and Patrick and
we
Eddie,
have people that actually have a following.
We might get a good little,
especially Madeline. She's got like a huge following.
Yeah.
Like I was just checking out. She's really put in the work.
She's been working hard. She's got
I think about how she's gone from like starting and then like now she's like, man. And then I'm like, man, we really like we went the opposite direction with our comic.
With the comic part.
Hey, are you gonna publish a comic for Comic-Con?
Yeah, probably should.
We're so close to 500 strips. We're never
really
gonna get. Also, now that you're back, you have to start working on all this stuff.
I know.
You gotta get the book going.
Yeah, the book, the music. I actually started working. I pulled out all the.
Have there been any orders for the record?
There's a couple. I sent those out. Not
okay.
Like before,
I put a link on the website now.
And
Josh said he wants to order one.
Well, it's there.
I told him.
Sweet. I haven't got any new orders for it.
I need to shave my head again. At some point, I'm gonna need you to like assist.
You're gonna like scalp it?
No, I mean I thought about it. Oh, dude. Well, I didn't realize that my clippers don't match up to the thing. So like. I did number 1 on mine, and it went way shorter than like the number 1 on theirs. Yeah. So now I'm at like 3 on mine equals 1. But like I mean I went like it was really short. I didn't go like take the guard off.
Right.
But I thought about it, but that was too much.
I couldn't tell from your picture because you had your hat on your picture. So.
Well, because I don't want to get sunburned, and I'm a hat guy now. I mean, look at all my hats.
You got your army of hats.
I'm gonna get some. I want to get some cool hats at Comic-Con.
It's good. Get your hat. Get your head covered.
I have a lot of like. I think like 7 out of 10 of my hats are like wrestling, which is fine.
It's good.
But
I want to diversify.
I got my Ghostbusters hat.
Good.
I think I want to get like just a simple like bat logo maybe or something.
Yeah, that Marvel hat.
Get the Marvel hat, but it fits kind of weird. It's a little bit weird.
Okay.
Compared to my other, I mean, I wear it, but it's
not as good.
It's a little weird. It's a little. I don't want to say cheap,
but maybe cheap.
Maybe cheap.
Yeah.
Because like it's just like this. The band is weird. It's got a buckle.
Yeah.
Like I'm not a huge fan of it. Like I like the. I really I'm a snapback guy. I found, but the flex fits. I have a flex fit hat. The only thing I have a complaint about the flex fit has is it doesn't. Compared to the other ones where like if I soak them or I use I got one of those ball cap buddies.
Yeah, yeah.
And I put it in the wash. Like the flex fit. I don't know if it's whatever material they use in the flex fit hats, but this like it smells all fresh and good, but the sweat stains are like still there. But on when I clean the snapbacks that I have, like it just all gets off. So I don't know if it's the flex fits or if it's maybe I'll try and if it's just that one. Cool. But I've been doing some research on hats, and flex fit is like a type of hat, and maybe it is the material.
Maybe it is.
So I don't know. I need to do some more field study on flex fits before I really make a decision.
Right. Because we don't want to make any big like investments.
Yeah. But so far my snapbacks.
What about the hat that what's Peter Parker's friend's name in Spider-Man? I like his hat.
Ned?
Yeah, Ned.
What's his hat?
Remember it's kind of like an Indiana Jones hat almost?
Oh, I'm not doing any
I like that hat.
Fedoras or pork pies. That's just too close. They're too close to like douche fedoras. I don't want to get any confusion. And I definitely I'm no joke at Spider-Man. I saw a fedora wearing neckbeard, like a real in the wild, and I was like, oh my gosh. And he was saying dumb stuff. Like it was just like, oh my gosh, you're a walking Reddit like caricature. I didn't think you were real. Like I almost wanted to go talk to him and just be like, what's your deal, dude? Are you doing this on purpose? Do you know what you're doing? Because right now you are seriously I live in constant fear of being you, not thinking that you are actually a real thing. But I saw him.
Your baseball cap is safe then.
And this dude now, I think I've discovered there are dudes that don't have this middle thing, and that they do have neck beards.
Yeah.
Why do they think that's okay?
I don't know.
I didn't think it was a real thing, but there are people. If I shaved this whole middle, what's up, Derek?
Hey.
So like, if I shave this whole middle thing, and there are dudes like maybe they're not. I don't know.
Well, it's in history. Like if you look back at the founding fathers, that was the style they had back then.
Oh, Derek says, "Welcome back, Phil."
Thanks. I heard you did a good job, Summer Me. Good word.
Oh my gosh, it's so hot.
It's very hot. Can we like invent a silent air conditioning?
What do recording studios use? I know they have to have something in there because I know rappers wouldn't put up with, like, super famous rich musicians wouldn't put up with this. What do they do?
Something. I don't know.
There has to be, right? It probably costs like a fortune.
Silent cold. They just put dry ice in there.
It would have to be like a central air type system where, like,
I have a confession, but you seem to be getting upset, so I'll tell you later. Who?
What? You talking to me? I'm not getting upset. We're not upset. No, I'm fine. I'm not upset.
It's just hot.
It's just really hot in here.
Yeah.
And we were talking about neck beards. And well, Phil was like you saying I should have like a pork pie hat, and I just think it's too close to fedora.
See, I just like some kind of a hat that he had the air conditioner on the whole time.
Yeah, I could hear it.
I just like the idea of a hat that covers my ears too. I hate my ears getting sunburned.
Well, yeah, but they're just those. I know. Well, that's what sunscreen's for.
I know.
But no, well, because back in the day when I was on Boy Scout trips, I unabashedly wore those lifeguard hats.
Yeah.
But man, I look like in every picture of me in one of those hats, I look like the biggest dork ever.
Yep.
But when I'm on canoe trips and whatnot, like that was an absolute necessity.
I need a hat with flaps.
And I need a Gilligan hat.
I have on backpacks, I wear like a Gilligan type hat. That's my hat.
Yeah. Yeah, but you look cool. You pull it off.
I guess. I don't know. I mean, cool, relatively speaking.
Because I seen you got like your fedora.
Yeah, but you've also seen me wear a baseball cap, and that does not work on me.
I didn't think it worked on me, but now it does.
Yeah. But you've seen me wear one.
Yeah, but I feel like maybe if you wore it, I feel like with me, I had to wear it enough.
I guess.
Because now people are totally on board with the hat.
I don't know. I still just feel like a goofus. The Gilligan hat, like that style, that I can at least kind of pull off.
I don't know.
Just on a backpack, you know.
After seeing that dude at Spider-Man, I'm like, oh my gosh.
Or like a skipper hat. And you can like hit me with it.
What about a captain's hat? And everybody can call me the captain.
Yeah, that's something like skipper, you know, skipper and Gilligan. Dude of Throne.
Why was he called the skipper and he wore a captain's hat?
That's what a skipper is.
Oh, you're right.
He's like the captain of the
skipper,
boat.
Captain. I'd rather be called captain. Skipper doesn't sound as like important.
Well, I think it's like a casual thing.
Aye, skipper. You're right.
Because it was a tour boat. It wasn't like a sailing vessel. It was just supposed to be a 3-hour tour.
Oh my gosh, it's really hot.
A 3-hour tour. Oh, see, he said skipper's a captain.
I know. It's too hot to think.
Your brain function is not working.
I took a nap because I was tired. And then people wouldn't stop texting me.
Did you watch Brendo's stand-up? Oh, I read the Marmaduke right beforehand. And holy cow. Like, you got a good one in there. I'm kind of jealous that you got to read that one. He said, good job.
That's like...
You watched your thing. Good job.
Oh, thank you. It's like top 5.
That easily. Like, that's... You can see now why, like, Marmaduke became a thing. Because we're... You know, you'll get this stupid one of, like, oh, he gets the mail for him. And then you've got one like, oh, he's totally... It's okay to have sexual assault.
Means yes.
No means yes. You know I didn't really mean that.
That was the moral of that episode. Kids are reading that.
And the kids are laughing in it, like in the thing. And then they're doing this weird like kiss. Oh, stop. Yes. Oh.
Derek says Marm's face when he was being told there is a good no.
Yeah.
Burned in crazy. Yeah, because it's like,
what?
Like, look at that.
Yeah. Plus, like, he's standing up like a human in between them, putting his arms out like, no.
Well, because he's doing his job.
And he's saying, oh, look, Phil's trying to rape her again.
Also, we know who Marmaduke is more loyal to.
Yeah. He likes Dot. But then Dot's telling her, I'm like, no. When I say no, I don't really mean no. Oh, my God.
What's the follow to this? Like, Dot does get assaulted because Marmaduke.
Yeah, they're walking along, and Marmaduke's like, and they're like, oh.
Oh my
Marmaduke,
gosh.
help! No.
I just realized the mic was way over here. What are we doing? What are we doing?
I don't know. I guess we know that the sound is happening because Derek's been responding with words to the things we said.
That's good.
So that's a good sign.
It's too hot. I can't even function right now. I check my clicker heroes.
Oh, we got a new guy in our guild who's like killing it.
Dude, your guild's killing it. We're on level 891.
All right. Well, we're more like on level 100.
100's good.
But yeah, I mean, like, he's way up our game.
You got like a super guy? That's all you need is like one of those.
Not quite as super as like your guys.
Oh, dude, our guys. So if you look at these guys, where are they at? Right? I haven't even looked to see.
What tab are you missing?
Oh, I transcended, so I'm missing the relics tab.
Can't do relics after you transcend?
Well, once and not until you get to a certain. I have to ascend again in order to unlock mercenaries.
Oh man,
because like like you start completely from scratch, but then you have like these transcendent powers. Yeah, okay. You unlock, but like when you start again, you the guild tab is gone until you get to the point where you can unlock it.
Really,
transcension is like, but you get this, you can get more and more. I'll show you.
But what if you're like in charge of the guild? Like, does this guild still happen without you?
Yeah, it still happens without you.
Huh.
It's weird. But yeah, so Kermit is it? Look at these guys. Yeah. Look at these three.
I mean, our highest one is, I think, somewhere.
And then there's me, 3,000. Whatever.
He's like in the third. He's like in the high 20,000s, I think. So
that's still really
not as high as yours, but it's still like killing it for the rest of us.
So I'll show you my. So last I got up to. So yeah, I went from 40,000.
Yeah.
Then the next transcension I went to 3. So like you start gaining more and more hero souls at like a crazy. Like, so like, well, I don't know my if you looked at my stats for transcension number 2, it was like the snowball effect was just like nuts. Like you build and build and build, and yeah, it's fun. It's just a ridiculous game, but
it is ridiculous.
Just like so obsessed with it.
It is fun. Oh gosh. Not quite as like oppressively hot as it was last night.
Last night, I thought you were like gonna have some kind
of puke.
I thought you were gonna have some kind of medical emergency.
Like I was getting heat stroke.
I'm like, do we need to go? We'll go.
I didn't want to I didn't want you to think I was trying to like wuss out.
I know, but like
I thought I was gonna puke. I'm like, dude, I might just barf in here right now because I just got so hot. And I was feeling like, and then I was like sip water and it'll make my stomach hurt, and I was like, oh. Once we got out, it was fine. It was just because it was so hot. And like the air wasn't moving. We're gonna are you gonna message? Let's see. What?
Sorry.
Wrestling?
No.
What?
Gosh. Okay, I gotta turn off people.
All right. We should start. We're gonna die of heat if we don't.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry. Fudge. Check 1 2. Hello.
Check 2 3. Closer. Back from Europe.
Check 1 2. Hello.
Check 2 3. Back from Europe. It worked. That was the song I was gonna sing.
So I see you like actually recorded on your trip. You just never.
Yeah, I just didn't edit. And I recorded the one with John Frisch before we left.
Yeah. And
I never got a chance to edit it. So it just was sitting there. I mean,
I listened to the whole episode of
nice.
Mandar Nord Show.
Now you have a pretty detailed account of like the first 10 days of our trip.
Yeah. Super detailed.
Derek asked, did Luke get in the tower? No, but none of us did.
Oh, none of you did?
Because it's funny, like, first of all, like, a lot of the fun is just seeing it, like, taking the pictures outside and stuff. And it was so hot there.
Yeah.
And you have to climb up all the stairs. There's no elevators, no air conditioning. And we were so, like, sweaty just walking around the base of it. We were like, we don't even want to. Like, so we went in, there's a cathedral there. We went in the cathedral that's near it. And that was cool, but it's nice and cool in there.
What cathedral did Janelle have to, like, cover?
That was the one there in Pisa. Yeah, her and Melissa both, where they had to put, like, a thing.
A little hospital.
She was wearing, like, a shirt.
Pictures
oh my
were
gosh,
hilarious. Because the first time I saw that, I was like, what the heck is that?
Well, and I think, did she tell on the thing about how, like, she saw a guy?
Yeah.
Because she was, like, ready to lose her mind.
Her initial response is like, you don't make dudes do that. And then she saw a dude.
I was like, oh, thank you. Because otherwise, who knows what she would have done.
Strang said you have to take a plane. Well, Phil, if you want to get there fast.
Well, okay. I think, though, the confusion is it's on an island. But we got there on a cruise ship. Yeah. So he took a plane because I think he came from the mainland.
You have to get to the island. You have to take a plane. But you guys went there on a cruise
ship. So,
but then for you, the challenge was getting from the cruise landing to the other side. Yeah. And Brian provided good intel on that.
So it was, I mean,
because I emailed Strang and I was like, how does he get there from here? And he's like, he's probably gonna have to take a taxi or a bus.
Yep.
Because the port. Because he's like, I'm pretty sure the port's on the other side.
Yeah,
and he was right.
But it's not a huge island, it was still, so like, it's not too bad.
Because you had like what, all day or
yeah. I mean, we had plenty of time. So we took a bus there, and then
Phil got to do something that Strang didn't get to do.
Yeah, because the boat that was closed.
The boat ride was closed
because of rough waters, and we got to go out to the caves and stuff, and that was cool. I was wearing my bracelet still from Popeye Village.
So they had like just all the like.
Oh, dude. I can't wait to get to tell the stories because, like, we were kind of mini celebrities there because we went a lot of places that we went, including that one. Like, very few American tourists go to. Like, I know some people do, obviously.
So now you know the, like, American, like, and especially with your cute kids.
Well, yeah, and so, like, they asked us.
If you took your kids to China, I'm pretty sure they would end up getting a TV show there. Like, so. I'm like 95 because like I know how much they love like cute American kids.
Yeah.
Like, because I had teammates like in my city that like had like they had like this cute little girl and like people like she got offered a TV show.
Well, they so when we first met Olive Oil, so. The crazy part. Oh, we should tell us on the show. Okay. Tell us on the show. Because I got some good stories about Popeye Village.
Okay.
And it's great. Oh my gosh. I
forgot to buy like some soda when I was at the store getting stuff for Comic-Con. Because I got a ton of batteries because we're gonna be recording with our thing. I don't get it over. It's by my DS. I got it all.
Oh, good. Don't forget all that
together. But I got 2 packs of batteries. This is buy one get one free.
Nice.
And I got waters because that's Derek and I's deals. I bring the water and he brings the snack.
You bring the dip. I'll bring the Dostoevsky.
And
Condor Man.
Gosh, such a dork.
I've been on a Condor Man kick.
Why are you so obsessed with Condor Man?
I showed it to our kids for the first time.
Yeah, did they like?
Oh, they loved it. It was awesome. I'm so happy. I've raised my kids.
What if they hated it?
I would have been so sad.
What if they do hate it? They're just being
nice. No, they're not that good of actors. They couldn't have faked this.
Okay,
it was great. Either that, or they just really care about me and know I want.
Maybe they know that. Like,
maybe Janelle briefed them. Like, look, you guys, I don't care how boring it is.
Favorite movie.
Just tell them you love it. Talk about it afterwards. Say quotes to them all the time about it. Because one of the reasons we wanted to watch it is it's shot all around Europe. So we went to a bunch of places that are in Condor Man.
Oh, that's cool.
So I was like, oh, we got to watch this.
Was that like super great for you?
I actually made like a whole list, like a film festival list of all the movies we need to watch of all the places we went. And we haven't made it very far through. So far, we've watched Condor Man.
I mean, the biggest one I'm glad you did watch before was The Master of None.
Yeah, like, oh my gosh.
Because you like went to Tuscany, right?
Yeah. Oh, we went. I mean, we were like 15 minutes from the town they were in. Man. But we went to little towns all around in there.
Like it all looked like
it looked like it could have been shot in the towns we were walking through.
Do you think he made that like let's go to Italy for that so we could go to Italy?
Yes, absolutely.
Because Aziz in real life is every much the foodie that he is, if not more so.
Because but also he could have done like, oh, I'm gonna get an internship somewhere in New York about or I could just do one in Italy.
Like him and Eric in Italy is just like the funniest.
Eating in Italy's my favorite.
And then like when they like the thing with Eric's like
with his girlfriend's
wedding and stuff. Oh my god,
dude. Or the videos he makes for like video dating.
Oh yeah, the video. What's the website? Tall Boys.
Tall Boys. That's such a Tim and Eric thing. Tall Boys.
So like, is that real? Because maybe I should get on that Tall Boys.
Tall Boys. Oh,
that is like a Tim and Eric.
Such a Tim and Eric. Tall Boys. Dude, Tall Boys.
Did I tell you that? Because I didn't know the extent. I had heard about this, but last year they had to break up because one of the guys retired from wrestling. But there was a tag team called the Beaver Boys,
really?
And they came out to the song. They had like, and they carried shrimp and white wine around, and like, and they were like the Beaver Boys. I'm like, I can't believe I never got to see that.
Oh,
like I've been watching videos of them, and they come out. They're like, I think they got like Tim and Eric to like give them their blessing because like there's no way they wouldn't have gotten sued.
Yeah,
but they did it for like a whole time because they came out and they're like Beaver Boy, and they did a little. They did like the little dance in the ring. Yeah, dude.
That's awesome.
I thought they just used the name, but no, they did the full gimmick and everything. I thought it was really funny.
Now I want to sing. I'll make your bubs bounce.
I can't believe because they're doing their 10-year anniversary tour, but they're no Comic-Con stuff.
Man,
no Awesome Con.
Miss Awesome.
At least
Con.
we were at the last Awesome Con,
and it was awesome.
And then they did that one little event,
the gathering thing.
And they haven't. Oh, that's where Fats.
Yeah, that's where Fats came from.
You Fats can play this too.
And we have that on video, right? That
because we didn't believe that we acted, so we have the whole thing on video. Yeah. They really said that.
Yep.
Because I got everything. I got him singing what was it? Lieberhart. Oh, Lieberhart is gonna be in the sales pavilion this year.
That's one that I would almost be tempted to
get a picture with the puppet. Buy one of his CDs.
Father and son.
Yeah, I saw he's selling Salome t-shirts.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's gonna have them there. You get a Salome t-shirt.
That's one thing that would tempt me.
That's probably my favorite thing of that video that I totally forgot about till I watched it with you.
Was he trying to awkwardly...
when he's trying to get you to
get me to buy
stuff. But then when they the whole Tim and Eric are coming soon. Tim and Eric, and they're oh my god! I'm like, he's making this up as he goes along. This is amazing. And then Tim and Eric get up there, and then they sing it along with him.
Tim and Eric. Oh, I love those guys.
And then you got Eric to tell you because you asked him what shrimp was.
Oh, dude.
And it was and then because we saw both of them in a very rare out of character moment.
That was fun just to get a little behind the scenes glimpse.
Yeah. All right. Hello and welcome to another episode of Radio BrendoMan. I'm Brendan Creecy.
And I'm Phil Vecchio.
You're back.
I'm back, baby.
We got Summer Phil, Derek Armijo in the chat.
Yes. Thanks for holding down the fort.
The handoff.
There, Mr. Derek.
And, so you're back.
I'm back.
You've been gone for 5 weeks.
Yeah.
You've been how many countries?
Well, we hit 10 countries on the trip.
Get those stamps.
We only got 2 stamps.
Oh man!
Because all the European Union ones, you get one on the way in and one on the way out. And that's
so it's not like it used to be.
No.
So back in the day, I got France.
Spain, every time you go over the border. Well, the trade-off is that it's no big deal to
easy
drive across or whatever. They don't even care. But we don't get cool stamps. So
yeah, because I had to mail in my old passport. I heard you get it back. They just put a hole in it.
Yeah,
because I was worried I wasn't gonna, because it's got my cool Chinese visas and stuff. And,
yeah, because we had to get new ones for the kids, and they just did punch this hole.
I found out that I was still within the, because I was worried I was gonna have to go, because you have to go in person and
it's a pain.
But I made it. I still had one more year, and I made it because I had my whole experience where I almost didn't make it back across the Mexico border, and I was just gonna get, because you can get a passport card for $30 that only works in Mexico, and if you drive, it's only for driving and only over Canada and Mexico.
Right.
But then I'm like, if I'm doing it, I should just get the boat.
Do it. Yeah.
Especially if there was some things. So I'm definitely gonna wait on the Japan trip until Nintendo World.
Oh yeah.
And
Ghibli.
The Ghibli, because those are probably gonna open around the same time. And I don't know if I don't see multiple Japan trips in my future.
Right.
So
yeah, that Nintendo one has got it. I mean, we're gonna have to go.
We should coordinate,
because I have to ride a Mario Kart ride and whatever Zelda thing that is gonna be there.
Yeah.
What's the Zelda ride gonna be?
I could see it being like a.
Maybe it's like from the Skyward Sword. He flies on the bird. Maybe it's like a soaring over.
I could see something like that.
Soaring over
especially
Hyrule.
After seeing, like, have you seen video of the Avatar ride? Like where you ride the. It looks really cool. Like that looks really cool. The boat ride looks beyond stupid.
Yeah.
Like I guess
some crazy animatronics.
Well, there's like one animatronic on the whole. Like the boat ride has
maybe I'm mixing them up then. I thought there was a few.
It just seems there's a few, but it's very sparse.
All right.
Like most of it is all video projections.
It's not like the Tivoli rides.
Okay, so let's get on to this. I need to hear first off, like, tell me about because you barely mentioned in the Mandarin Orange show, like the fact that first of all, you went to Tivoli, which you found out is not called Tivoli Gardens.
It's not. Although they've kind of just like given up, and their English website says Tivoli Gardens.
Okay,
but it's we met a friend in Denmark who explained that Tivoli kind of just translates as like amusement park.
Yeah.
So that's not like the title. It just says Tivoli everywhere.
So
and gardens, the word refers to like a parade, like a soldier parade, or the guard. So they had like I got the idea it was kind of like a Boy Scout like guard type of thing where they do like parades and they're training them, like a young boys kind of thing, and they have their barracks there, they're like clubhouse or whatever where they do their training, and
it's like an ROTC thing,
something like that. Yeah, like a youth.
Yeah,
it's not like really military, but they're training.
Yeah, like ROTC, junior ROTC,
something like that. And so it's their guard.
Okay.
So it's their garden. That's where they are, and they do like parades and stuff. But it's not
by the theme park.
It's not gardens. There's no garden.
There isn't any.
I mean, not really. It's a theme park. It's an amusement park.
But are there like crazy gardens and stuff in Denmark?
Yes, and we saw some.
Where are like the crazy robot Roomba gardener things happening?
Oh, all over the place.
Like the ones that look like mice and stuff.
Yeah, and they have because they have like these steep hillsides they have to mow, so they have these like robotic arms.
I was very fascinated because Shinsuke Nakamura, they went to Denmark for WWE, and he posted this video. I think I sent it to you.
Yeah,
and it was like he just videoed. It looks like a Roomba, but it's mowing the grass, and it looks like a cat, and it's just like it's adorable.
Well,
and it's also like so cool.
Their mowing is insane.
Why don't you have a robot?
I don't know.
Mower.
They have so much because everywhere is covered in grass.
Yeah.
So like along all the roads, miles and miles, where they have like 5 or 6 feet just mowed, because that's
Does it like rain a ton there?
I think it's some parts it does. I mean, it rained a couple times. It's just I don't know. It must rain a lot, I guess.
Also,
and there's just a lot of open land.
Also, as you talked about, I think it also has to do with the fact that you said like not a lot of people drive cars there.
Right. Everybody rides
probably
bikes.
Like really good air quality and more green and trees. And
everybody rides bikes. So even like in downtown Copenhagen, I drove there. There was more traffic from bikes. Like for every one car, there was 50 to 100 bikes.
Sounds like
so. Beijing. There was just, hundreds of bikes, and there's 5 or 6 cars, and the traffic is because all the bikes have to.
Yeah, it's like the crossings. There's like
hundreds of bikes. Like at one time, in order to turn right into the parking lot for the Tivoli, I had to wait about 10 minutes for all this line of bikes to go because bikes have top priority. Yeah. They get right away over pedestrians.
So first off, I do have to say, because you said on Mandarin Orange show that you didn't think there were fun houses anymore.
Not in this regard.
Well, like the traditional with like all the stuff you were talking about. Obviously, I think this is due to your blind spot of never going to fairs, but there's absolutely traditional fun houses at every single Midway.
Even I feel like those are sanitized,
with the barrel.
Though.
No, dude. I'm telling you.
Okay, the barrel I've seen, but
there's definitely like with the spinny floors and steps. Yes, very much.
All right, maybe.
Those 100% exist. In fact, there is a specific one. It's called like DOS. It's like got a German name. It's one that I've seen they tour around, and it very much has all that stuff.
Well, because like the one we saw at the LA County Fair.
Yeah, but you've been to one fair in like your whole life.
I'm just saying the LA County one was very sanitized compared to this one.
Okay. Well, I'm sure there probably is. But like there are definitely with everything that you described, there are definitely a fun house.
It's hard to explain though, because it's not just in the fun house. Everywhere in Europe and in Denmark in particular, it's not safe.
Well, I don't like the playground stuff you were talking about. Whatever.
Well, like the roller coasters.
Oh yeah.
People, they don't stop the roller coaster. You hop on
that
as it's
sounded
moving,
insane.
and as soon as it pulls back in the station, the kids just hop off and run around and get on the next one.
Oh my god!
Like while it's still moving, they don't check your belts.
There's no OSHA.
No, the guy in the one roller coaster that we were talking about in
the description of the Matterhorn coaster just sounds crazy.
The guy operates it like. He drives the thing. He rides all day long, and they break it. You know, they have like a brake on it. He stands up while they're doing it, going around all the curves and up and down the hills.
And that has to be doing like damage to his body.
I don't know. I mean, it's a great ride. I think it's the second oldest wooden roller coaster in existence.
Are there weird animatronics on it?
That one, no. They have like some models.
Oh, okay.
Like there's definitely. It's where the Matterhorn came from, like no question. But it doesn't have a Yeti. It's got like cows and stuff. Like at the top, there's a little field.
But then you casually mentioned like dark rides and then never got specific. Tell me about these dark rides at Tivoli.
Well, there's two main ones. There's a log ride one, and then there's like a more traditional like cart one. So the log ride one is definitely the older of the two.
Okay.
And it's called the Mine, except whatever the word in Danish is, and I can't remember. And the whole thing revolves around all these weird troll things, and there's a giant dragon, and they all care for the dragon. So you go around the body of the dragon. There's all these like old school animatronics of them like polishing its nails or trimming its hair, and what sneezes flame out, and they're like cleaning it up and stuff and feeding it and everything. And it's this enormous thing, and then all these little troll things. And there's a great spot where you're coming down, and it looks like this waterfall is going to hit you, and then right as your boat hits the front, it shuts off, and you just get like sprayed a little bit. I don't know, it's just great, like incredible, and it's probably been there since like the 50s, like it's that age, right? The other one they had was newer. It probably was more like 80s or 90s, and it was really cool. It goes through all the tales of Hans Christian Andersen, who's probably like the most famous Danish, writer at least, and it goes underground, and it's like 5 or 6 stories high, and you just start wrapping around and spiraling down. It goes up and down, but it's all on this like slow dark ride, and there's hundreds of animatronics. It's super cool. And the best part is they have a little switch where it narrates it in English or Danish. So you click it to English, but it clearly was translated like using a Google Translate, and then they just went with it kind of thing, because the translations, like just some of them make no sense whatsoever. They're just reading out like whatever it said. So it's pretty great.
Well, that's like when you buy pirated Chinese DVDs and you switch to English subtitles, and it's clearly just they did Google Translate. And I always, when somebody pointed out to me, I would always check them, because there'd be times where I get them and it would end up being the subtitle for a completely different movie, or just other really fun things. Derek says, "Do not want."
Do not want.
Do not want the Hans Christian Andersen ride.
It's great. I'm telling you, it's super weird and cool. Also, I think because the original language, like it was more concise and it was way more wordy. So the guy talks like really fast, and it kind of bleeds over into the next one, each scene. So it's amazing. That was great.
Or maybe it means do not want scary, unsafe theme parks.
Oh, you're the bad translation DVDs.
Yeah.
Darth Vader's no translated back from Chinese.
Yeah, they have some really funny. There's like a whole website dedicated
do not
to.
Want. That's good.
Yeah.
It was great. There's a Starflyer ride. It's called the Starflyer, and it goes like super high and spins you around.
Oh, nice.
So I got pictures of that. It's
Did
just
they
great.
Name it after that?
I don't know. It's possible. I don't know. I'm not sure.
Should ask Jason.
Definitely next time. They have a restaurant boat that's just like
you're telling me it's like the Chicken of the Sea
like
pirate
Chicken
ship.
of the Sea pirate. It's exactly what it is.
Was it crazy being on it?
Yeah, well, we didn't. It was closed by the time we got to that part of the park, so we took pictures outside of it, but didn't actually get to eat on it. So,
what'd you eat at the park?
We ate. There's like they have like a whole like Epcot Center type thing where there's a whole line of. It's
how
big
was this park?
It's pretty big.
Was it crowded?
Medium crowded. It was pretty crowded. It's definitely the only place in Denmark that we saw anyone American was at the Tivoli, and then we saw one American family at Legoland. Other than that, we never came across another American. I don't think Americans travel to Denmark.
This is a good Derek question for Phil. Any toilet controversy? Do you have any toilet troubles?
Not really. I mean,
traditional Western toilets all the way.
It's
no squatty potties.
There were in some public restrooms. I heard
paid toilets or anything like that.
I just don't do those. You know, I go in them at the hotel. I don't go in public ones.
Well, there you go.
So, but I heard there were some squatty potties in some of the places we went to. I didn't go in there. So,
someone in our there's like an alumni group that I've been kind of hanging out in at Facebook from Central, and somebody they were posting pictures from one of their Taiwan trips, and somebody posted a picture of a squatty potty and had like this visceral like reaction to it because just like flashback of almost falling into one of those stupid things.
Yep, I just didn't go. However, all of the hotel rooms, every hotel room does have a bidet.
I'm like, I want bidets.
It's interesting. I mean, I tried one. It's hard to get. I don't know if I can get used to it.
Yeah, but don't you like get a little cleaner?
It does.
I don't know. The other day I was just thinking about how like toilet paper just seems so primitive.
It is, but then it's like spraying it around and another. I don't know how well they clean that thing, and other people put their stuff there, and
you're not like, I don't know,
it's close to it.
Yeah,
and you're gonna like rest. I don't know. I'm not good at squatting. I don't have good muscles. Is there footage of toilets? No. The Tivoli, yes, but no footage of toilets. I might have videoed like
how much video and stuff. Is this all going to be on My Vacation Pants or like?
Well, Janelle's got a ton of My Vacation Pants coming. I mean, she's been posting just pictures on Instagram, but she's got a bunch of articles, and I'm going to write some articles as well. I'm going to do one about driving in Europe. Because first of all, I learned a lot about
the driving experience.
Well, it's funny because the first place I drove was Denmark, and that was already kind of a little bit of a shock. So you
flew into Denmark.
We stopped in England for like a pretty quick layover, and then flew into Denmark.
So your kid's first European experience was England?
Yeah, but we didn't really leave the airport, so you know.
So how'd your kids hold up during the travel?
They're amazing. They're absolutely incredible. It helps that on the airplane.
I did notice that you didn't bring your Switch.
I did not. We all had our DSs, and we packed really tight because we were going to be doing a lot of, going on cars, and then we had 6 air flights. Okay.
Derek asked any Clark Griswold hijinks. Yeah, so tell us about this driving.
Yes, absolutely.
So you had a normal car in...
Yeah, but it was a stick shift. They're all stick shifts. Okay. All the rental cars. I mean, I'm sure you
drive stick.
And I do, but I'm used to driving my American truck with a big old thing. So it's, they're a lot tighter, and so it took a little getting used to. And the first thing we pull out of the parking lot, and it's straight into a roundabout, and you make a left-hand turn into a roundabout, like right out of the parking lot. So I'm already
Did you have navigation? Did you use
Matt had it on his phone.
Okay.
So we got SIM cards through T-Mobile, so we did have internet. It was a little spotty, but I made the Big Ben Parliament joke about 5,000 times because one of the tricks I learned is because everyone wants to drive faster than I did there because I don't know where I'm going, right? So if I had cars behind me that were getting impatient, I'd just loop around and turn roundabout until I lost everybody, and then I keep going the way we wanted to go. That was our move. That was our patented move there. So of course I would always make the Big Ben Parliament joke, but driving in Denmark, once we got used to it they're really they follow the rules. The guy that we met, our friend in Denmark, Jacob, was so you
just met this dude at the airport?
Yeah, at the airport, and we're friends. That's super cool. We hung out and talked to him, and but he was telling us about driving. I asked him about driving there, and he's like, always use your blinkers. They ticket like crazy for not using blinkers.
Man,
but it was
not do that here.
He wasn't saying he was some people are just so inconsiderate and they don't use blinkers when they change lanes. And what is our world coming to? Because they're so.
Have you ever been to America?
No, they are so polite. Like everybody's so polite there. So then contrast that. So I got used to that. The trickiest part driving in Denmark is that I don't speak a word of Danish. Even after being there for like 10 days, I know how to say thank you. And I know how to say way, as in like, Ukaipa Boulevard, Ukaipa Way. That's it. I got 2 words out of the whole thing. Because it's really hard to pronounce their language. So it's really crazy driving when you have no idea what the signs mean. So Matt, like, was my sign guy, and he Googled, like, what all the different signs were and was telling me, okay, this means that. And they do have some rules that are different. Like, they have a lot of obstructed roads where, like, you're coming from 2 ways and there's an obstruction where only one car can get through, and you have to be able to code what the thing says for who gets to go. And so they don't stop and wait for you to figure it out. You have to know what the sign says. And if you don't, like, the people will slam into you behind if you don't go the right way. So I'm like, are you sure I should go? And there's a car coming at you and you have to, like, drive right at them. And it was really freaky. But Matt's like, that's what it says on here. Go for it. I'm like,
What if you didn't find out in time?
Well, I'm telling you. And the way that we learned about that, I think I might have mentioned this on Mandarin Orange Show, is there's a playground that had like a little bike path thing where it had like real street signs. And we watched these kids drive around and saw what they did. And we're like, oh, that's what that means. And we learned like how to drive in Denmark from watching these kids. So it helped. But contrast that with then going to Italy, where we drove a bus.
I saw your video. Okay, yeah. You were talking about how you're getting this van.
Yeah.
And then I'm on Facebook and like you're getting like it's one of those mini buses.
It's a mini bus. Like it was 9-seater, but it was huge. Like everyone had big.
Remember, you were all worried you're gonna be so cramped. How did you get so misled?
Well, here's the thing. When we got there, she took a look at us and she's like, well, how much luggage do we have? And she's like,
situation?
I'm going to upgrade you to this one. And we're like, okay. And they wound up putting us in this huge bus thing. So big was it.
How much did it cost?
They didn't cost anywhere. I mean, I think for the entire time, because we had it for 3 weeks. We kept it during the cruise because it was cheaper to park it than it was to do it. And I think the whole time it was like $800. Which sounds like a lot, but that's for 9 people for 3 weeks.
Think about how much rail passes and all that stuff would cost. It was
for one rail pass for our family. I think it would have been something like $600 just for the 4 of us. So I mean, when you consider that, it's not that bad.
You do have some international haggling.
Yeah, I mean nothing major, but I talked the guy down on buying a Leaning Tower pizza.
You're very happy about that.
So I was pretty stoked on that. And I think that might be it. I'm pretty sure that's it. Other than that, because I don't really speak any of the languages of the places we were in,
and
so
Phil
it's kind of tough.
Spend money if he doesn't.
I don't, and like stuff. We bought food. The only thing I bought that was even remotely a souvenir was that Leaning Tower pizza thing, and I spent €1 on that. So
you're not a souvenir guy.
No, pictures. Take pictures, because then also you have to fit it back in your luggage.
Yeah.
So anyway, we get to Italy, and not only is it huge, when we pull out of the parking lot, because it's really tall, and they have like a height thing, pulling out of the parking lot, I scraped the roof of the thing on the height thing.
Oh, geez.
And there's nowhere to go. Like, that's the only way out of the parking lot.
Take some paint off?
I couldn't see. It's like 7 feet tall. I couldn't see on top
You got like the ultimate insurance.
I paid for the Seinfeld insurance. I will bring it back to you in a pile of burning rubble, and you can't charge me. We paid for the full insurance because I knew that was going to happen. Because watching people drive, like when they're parallel parking, they go and like tap the cars in front and behind them to make sure they're in the right spot. And in like driving in Rome, like the motorcycle guys kick the car next to them if they're in their way. Everyone's tapping each other and like.
So like, what was that like? Did you say you made your dad drive a lot?
My dad and I did about 50-50, but the absolute worst driving, and I have never seen anything like this in my life, was in Naples. And my dad did like 95% of the driving.
Is that where there's like no lanes?
Yeah, well, like if you picture like there's 3 lanes, right? Going through a tunnel.
That sounds like driving around in Mexico.
Cars would drive 5 lanes wide. I've driven in Mexico. This blows anything. I will drive in Mexico.
I had some crazy experiences in Tijuana.
I've driven all the way down into like middle of Mexico and back. And it was crazy, but nothing have I ever seen like this. People were like swerving around in front. Motorcycles would dip in between. So 5 cars wide.
Well, and I saw your video, which was like,
that was like a tame one. That was just me like waiting around. Like, it's insane. And they just don't care. They just don't, and they tap. And we were like, how come there's not more accidents? It's because when they get in fender benders, they just keep going.
Yeah.
Fender benders don't count.
Yeah.
Like unless someone gets injured or a piece falls off the car, it doesn't count. They just go. It's crazy. I've never seen anything like that.
Derek asks, did you have any embarrassing things like accidentally driving into red light districts?
Not going somewhere like that. But we did like walking around. I'm trying to picture in my mind where it was. I can't remember what city it was, but we did a lot of walking through cities, and we're going along, and there wasn't so much a red light district, but there was a few shops of that nature. And Audrey, we're walking along, and I didn't notice him, and Janelle didn't notice him. And Audrey's like, "Oh, look at that cute little worm thing, Mommy! I want to buy one of those." And we're like, "Ha ha ha!" And it was some dildos in a display, and I'm like, "Oh, look over here!" And we just kept going. So, we kind of had to pay a little better attention. There's a lot of those kinds of things. We just didn't address what it was. There's all kinds of things they're seeing for the first time.
I guess we skipped over. Talk about Legoland.
Legoland was
the Legoland.
It's the original Legoland.
So is that where the factory is, or is the factory totally separate?
The factory is there. It's separate, but it's right there.
You didn't get to go in the factory.
No, that's only like the like
pay the VIP.
Yeah, that's the VIP
experience.
tour that was sold out long before we booked our trip. So
and that's the only way you can.
That's
go
the only way you can
go
in. It's like the wrestling thing you did, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But Legoland itself like blows the California one out of the water. Like it's awesome.
Did that kind of make you even more bummed out about California Legoland? Like,
yeah, I mean, it had all the stuff we have here, but then it had like twice as much stuff. It has big roller coasters. It has
I want to hear about the castle.
It has a castle. Oh yeah, their castle is like a full-on castle. Like they have the dragon ride here, but there it's a castle, like the size of castles.
And they have like a haunted house.
There's a haunted house, but the inside there's all kinds of animatronics, and then the roller coaster is like a real roller coaster. It's not just like the kiddie one. They have a cool haunted house thing. They've got an old West town.
You said there was like some weird, like not inappropriate, just weird stuff, like people being tortured.
Well, oh yeah, in the castle,
like some other stuff.
They're very casual about that. Like
there was like some casual nudity.
There's a lot of just like people. Like there's one where there's a dog pulling down a guy's pants, and there's where the girl's shirt's being popped off and stuff like that. It's in Lego form, but still. And then there's a whole scene that didn't make the cut in the California one, where it's these guys being tortured. There's a guy on a rack, like, and his like arms are being pulled off, and I think there's like an executioner guy or something. But that's just everywhere. There's just safety and
then like you said,
it's not sanitized.
You said like the cast, like I want to call them cast members.
Yeah, the employee guys.
Like employees.
Oh, like, everyone that works there has a sword,
swords.
and they hit everybody with them, like always. As you're on the ride, like there's that one where there's like a rope pull, you sit on it and you pull yourself up. I don't know. They have it at the Legoland in California, but
I've never been to Legoland.
Well, anyways, people are doing it. He's like stabbing them and like pretending to saw off the kid's legs and like they would never get away with that.
Just have like were they just?
Oh, they loved it. The best. Well, okay, so there's a really cool roller coaster there that's it's what is it, like North Pole themed, and or maybe it's South Pole. No, just polar, because they had polar bears and penguins. Now that I'm thinking about it, so they just kind of polar. But it's like this cool roller coaster, and you get to this spot, and I thought maybe it was going to go backwards because it kind of felt like that, like at Expedition Everest. It stops. There's a video, and there's these Lego guys doing stuff, and then it's like a drop. So you're on a regular car roller coaster, and then the whole platform drops, and then it keeps going. So that was really cool. But the probably number one coolest thing they had there is they have the most awesome Pirates of the Caribbean knockoff. Like it's a whole
like a Lego
blatant rip-off of it, but it's all Legos.
Is there a Lego Jack Sparrow?
Oh, not so much, but there's like a Lego guy in a barrel, and is
there like the dog with the keys?
Dogs. Those guys in the prison, like they got the whole 9 yards. I mean, there's tweaks on it, but it's I'm trying to remember. I videoed the whole thing. I have the whole thing on video, so we can go back and look at it.
I'm trying to think of a even
like the like skull and crossbones that talk to BBC can prefer the pirates, or that guy. They have that guy, except it's Lego.
There's some pirates here.
Narby storms in front of you. Like it's like that. It was that kind of stuff. Amazing, just absolutely amazing. So I love Legoland. We also went to this one. We went to a castle. We thought we were just going to like a historic castle, and we get inside, and it turns out it's a theme park that's also a castle. It's the it's one of the only castles in Denmark where the royal family actually lives in it still, and the Duke and Duchess just like people and attractions, so they wound up turning their property into an amusement park around their castle, and they give tours of like the half of the castle they don't live in, and then there's like all kinds of amusement park stuff around it.
So you guys did that?
So we did that. We didn't even know. We just paid to get in. We thought we were going to a castle, and then it was this. They have a hedge maze, and they have like all kinds of crazy playground stuff. That's where they have the Dracula's tomb.
What was that?
Well, we didn't know. We saw it on the map. No, Dracula's crypt, maybe, and it was like in this building that used to be like their barn, and it was like where they used to keep the feed. And so it's like this old, like musty back room.
At a castle.
It's at a castle, and they have it like decorated, like it's all dark. Like they just have like.
Is it like the dungeon at Angelo and Vinci?
Yeah, dude. There's torches, but like actual torches on the wall, and you walk in, and there's like this little crypt thing, and you walk over, and there's like a statue of like a
sounds like
Dracula,
the dungeon.
And it goes,
it sounds like the dungeon, Angelo and Vinci.
But like way more ornate. Yeah, actually in a castle.
It was really funny because we went to Angelo and Vinci's after Monica and Chris's wedding. I hadn't been there in years, and like I was like, oh, we got to go down to the dungeon. I was like, ooh, what's that? I'm like, oh, we got to see it.
Yeah.
And I just, it was just all the memory. I don't know. I have such good memories there, and even some of the girls like, this is really weird. I'm like, right? Like it's really weird. And there was even like kids that were trying to like dare each other to go down. You always, I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's just one of those goofy things.
Derek says any panic moments like Lost Kids. Nothing like Lost Kids. The scariest moment though is I came within an inch of being hit by like a large train bus thing.
You didn't look there both ways, did you?
Well, here's the thing though. We was in Germany, and they drive on the same side of the road.
Yeah, but they always have weird things with buses where they do like.
Yeah, it's like a trolley bus thing, and there's this, and it goes the opposite direction. So I looked this way and stepped out, and then always and like.
So you always look both ways.
Inches away.
That happened to me in Spain because I guess like ambulances will like you do like, and I came because I didn't look both ways in Spain. I almost got hit by an ambulance.
Well, and it's an electric train thing, so it's quiet.
And they're quiet, yeah.
So it's not like I heard the rum, 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 like it was just quiet, and I looked and I was holding Audrey's hand, so it would have been both of us. And I like yanked her back, and that was the scariest. No Lost Kids or anything like that, but driving in Italy
and
was
then
the scariest.
You went to like the Colosseum and all that stuff.
All that stuff. We went to the Vatican City,
what was that,
where the Pope lives. That was weird.
Was that like nuts?
All those? Remember, I posted in Radio BrendoMan.
Did you see like the crazy like subway they have, or like any of that stuff
in the Vatican City?
I know they have like I guess that's like you can't go. I think that's only for like.
Yeah, I didn't see that.
They have a subway.
We went in their crypts like underground, which was really weird. But all those weird. Remember, I posted like a Radio BrendoMan crypt? That was almost entirely from Vatican City.
You post like a whole thing.
It's like a horror show.
If you go to our Facebook group, there's just a whole series of pictures that Phil took of just weird,
like nightmare fuel,
crazy.
There was a couple of other things from other places.
My favorite thing that you took though, this picture, because there was a whole post about it, is just the scariest looking hotel like ever.
Oh yeah,
where it just says like hotel, and it just looks like
that was
just basically like it's like you will get murdered here.
Yeah, I don't know if they were really open for business or not, but that was in the streets of Genoa, just walking around there. So.
But so it's cool going around Italy.
So super cool. I mean, the food there is like mind blowing.
I heard you guys talking about the food. So like, okay, here's my question though: is are you gonna be able to eat American pizza again? Because I've heard like the difference between Italian pizza and American pizza is like light years.
Here's the thing though: it's so different that it's not even.
That's
like
what Crozier said. He's like, it's not even the same food.
It's not like you can't get pepperoni pizza there. That doesn't exist.
It doesn't exist.
It's not that they don't have the same toppings.
Pizza's all totally
different. The cheese is different.
Like,
the crust is different.
American pizza is very much like an American.
It is. And it's
thing.
I mean, the structure is similar.
Yeah. So what's it like, Derek?
It's so good. Like the crust is a lot lighter and crispier, but not like a thin crust. It's just different.
Yeah.
And then there's
like
usually
fluffier.
And there's less cheese.
Yeah.
And then there's different kind of meats they put on it, and
a lot more variety in toppings.
Yes, but almost none of the same stuff.
But none of the same.
Like it's just all different things. And it's not like the Giorno. No, it's
so it's like a lot of like more cured meats.
A lot of cured meats, like the prosciutto and the I don't know, there's also a lot of like fish ones.
Yeah.
which we did accidentally order a anchovy one time, and we ate it, but they're really salty and it's very fishy. So, we only did that once. We learned what that word was real quick.
And then what about the pasta?
The pasta, however, is just
all handmade.
As much as I like the pizza, the pasta just blows it out of the water. I can't go.
So like Master and None is not exaggerating.
No,
like the Italian
handmade pasta is mind blowing. You have not eaten pasta.
Yeah, I know.
If you haven't been to Italy, you have not eaten pasta. Unless you grew up in a family.
Or have somebody that makes pasta.
Unless you've had handmade pasta, you have not had pasta.
It's completely different.
And the sauces there are just out of control.
Well, again, like all handmade.
It's just all and I was explaining a little bit, like every restaurant we went to, they'll have like 6 or 7 different sauces on their menu, but the guy will tell you, like the waiter will tell you, we have 1, 2, and 3. These things are what we have tonight, because they don't just have all the sauces all the time. They've been, simmering those all day, and these are the ones that are ready.
Place.
Right, like this is what we made today, so you can't just order this one because they wouldn't have even known what we were talking about. It's just another world. Like, it's so different, and I love it so much.
And then what about? Did you? Because I was asking you about. I was making sure like you try. Did you get I know the olive oil out there is like next level. Yeah.
Well,
did you do any olive oil tastings?
We stayed at a farm. Yeah. One of the places
because we say like those farms.
We alternated between chain hotels and then like ranch houses in the middle of the country.
And you stayed at some crazy looking places.
So one of the ones we stayed at it's called agritourismo.
So it was like an agro-tourism place?
So basically you're on this farm.
It's like
they make their own wine and they make their own olive oil. Yeah. They're on the farm.
Those olive oils though. Because like John brought some olive oils back that I've never had anything like it in my life. It's like this maple syrup. Yeah. It's just it's like the difference between it's like the difference between the real maple syrup and imitation. It's like night and day.
Well, and there instead of having ketchup and mustard on a table, there's olive oil and vinegars, and it's awesome.
So good.
We ate a lot of good food.
Did you have lasagna?
I think maybe one person did. That's not much of a thing there. I think we saw that at 1 or 2 restaurants. I mean, maybe we just went to different places.
Thing?
Just pasta, and what you do, and this is every restaurant, and all of them have pasta. That's the main thing you get. And they would say, what kind of pasta do you want? And they'd have a list of 3 or 4 different shapes. And then these are the sauces, and that's it. And that's what you order. But all of them are the best food you've ever had. So
did you have
beefaroni? No. No.
That reminds me of that. I still have nightmares about the in-between beefaroni.
Ugh. Okay, the craziest meal we ate there. We went to the island of Capri for a day, which is off the coast of Naples. So we took a ferry boat out there. That's where we went to the Blue Grotto, that crazy cave, right? So we came back and we were all hungry. And as we were walking back to the car, my dad spotted this little Sicilian restaurant that was right by the port. And they have this thing. It's kind of like the Spanish fiesta or siesta, rather.
Derek asks, is the Capri Sun better?
Oh, I made mini Capri Sun jokes. Let me tell you. But anyway, they have siesta where from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. or something like that, nothing's open. Period. So if you don't eat before then, you don't eat. Done. So we were getting to the end, where it was about to be siesta, and we're we got to find food right now, or we're gonna not get food. And so my dad spotted this restaurant. I went up and asked, and I'm yeah, sure, you can come in. Of course, they didn't speak any English, so this was not. I'm translating, but we go in there, and it's a fixed menu, right? So and they said a fixed menu. You don't want that's fine. And you have never eaten as much food as they served us on this day. They brought out, and I am not exaggerating, 20 courses.
Oh my god!
And at first, they brought out, and there
how
was
much does it cost?
It wound up being about $20 a person, which was a lot for Italy, but it was insane. So at first they brought us out a little what do you call the toast with tomatoes on a bruschetta?
Yeah.
Which, by the way, in Italy they don't put onions on that. That's just tomatoes, olive oil, and toast. Mm-hmm. But anyway, they brought that out, and there was just a little piece for each of us, and we were all okay, make sure everyone gets an even amount. And then they brought out these little sausages. Okay, make sure you get enough. And then they just every 2 minutes they brought out another plate 20 times. And at the end, we were dying, and they were oh, we're so full. And more. Oh, we got just 2 more. And we're no more. And they kept bringing it out and bringing it out. And then we're no, that's it. We can't have any more. It's okay, we'll just dessert now. And then they brought out platters of cakes and all. We're no more. Okay, but that's it. But just drinks now. And then they brought out drinks for everybody, little limoncello like shots and stuff. And well, just one more thing, and it just kept going. And we all like
manja.
Dude, they put that's exactly it. They put the Vecchios down. We couldn't eat it, and they looked at our family and like, we can beat that. We can beat that.
Wow.
And we couldn't. They beat, and this is when David and Amber were with us. So there was 12 of us, and we could not. They beat us. They brought out like 50 mussels.
Yeah.
And then like there was pastas, and there was meats, and there were sandwiches, and there was everything. It was insane. It was the most food I've ever seen. I've never seen a buffet with that much food.
That sounds crazy.
It was insane. I'm still and I can never have that. I mean, it was all just mind blowing. Every single one of them.
Did you go to Spain? I thought
we went to Spain for 2 days.
Where'd you go in Spain?
We were in Barcelona just for a cruise day, and then we stayed one like overnight in Madrid.
How was that?
That was kind of funny because that was our last on our way home. So we flew out from.
Did you have any paella?
Well, that was my goal, right?
Yeah.
So we stayed at a place though that was kind of near the airport, so we could get the free airport shuttle because we were just there for 2 days, for one night. And so we got the shuttle there, and then our plan was just to get like an Uber down to somewhere downtown and get a paella. But it turns out like the airport's kind of way outside town, so it was like a 40-minute drive. Like it would be $50 each way to get a Uber out to that way. To like anywhere of the downtown areas. So it's kind of like if you were flying into LA and we stayed in Inglewood, right? And that's exactly what it was. We're like, oh, let's go to Hollywood, except it's that far away. I'm like, no, we can't. So we wound up like walking around there, and we thought, well, there's got to be an area down here, and there's nothing. Like there's a nice little block of hotels, and then there's just nothing. And so we wound up going to a different hotel's restaurant, and they had a little buffet there, and it was pretty good. But it was
Spanish tortilla or anything like that?
No, but they had like weird Spanish foods, but I feel like it was more like what you and I would buy at a grocery store if we lived in Spain. Like there's little deep fried like meat and cheese rolls and stuff.
Yeah. Derek has to see the plane where it rains mainly.
Also made many. I will tell you this, every place we were in, like for instance, when we were we went to Florence, and I was like, oh, did you see that bird there? That's the Florence nightingale. And I did that everywhere we went. Like I didn't let you down, Derek. I just want you to know. Everywhere. I also used when in Rome like 500 times.
What'd you do in Barcelona?
Barcelona, we just walked around, like went to amazing churches, went to the Arc de Triomphe. We went to the Gothic Quarter.
Did you go to the Temple Sagrada or whatever? The drip
the Familia Sagrada, right?
Yeah.
So we didn't go to that one because we were kind of far from that. But the same guy, Gaudi, who designed it, he has a bunch of there's this place called the Gothic Quarter where he did a bunch. And we went all around in there, and it was insane. It was super great. That's also where we got I got ripped off by a street magician.
How'd you get because you get sucked in.
I got sucked in, man. Let me tell you. Okay, so I don't buy stuff from people on the street. You know that.
You get sucked in.
But this guy had these things. Like they're these little paper things with these like wiggly arms. And you watch them, and they're like otherworldly. Like they dance. And so it's got like a little, they don't have like characters like Mickey Mouse or something. And it's like, and it dances to the music. And he like turns off the music, and they stop. And he starts it up again, and they dance to it. I'm like, how does it? And I couldn't help it. The kids and I were like staring at it. And Jen was like, go talk to him, find out about it. And I'm like, how is it doing that? And he showed me like, oh, it's like magnets. And he showed me the little thing. And you set it by the wall, and it like, the magnets respond to the music, and it dances. And I'm like, that's insane. And I kept watching it, and Jen was like, just buy one. Like, I want to go look at stuff. And I'm like, and I asked him, and he wanted €5 for like a little set of them. And I'm like, all right, like I gotta have one. We had like a €5 thing.
This is just junk.
So we got back to the boat, and the kids were like out of their mind excited because I don't buy souvenirs, and I definitely don't buy stuff from people on the street, right? And I actually bought one other thing from a guy on the street too. They had those little tiny whistle things that like they can talk and make weird. I bought one of those. But that one I had like less than €1. I just had some pocket change. I'm like, I'll give you this, and he's like, okay. So I bought him one of those. But anyway, we get back to the cabin, and I try setting it up, and they're just there. I'm like, what the heck? And they had instructions, but it wasn't super clear. And they're just like little cardboard things. And the little things he said were magnets were just little rubber things. They weren't magnets. And I went online and watched a video, and dude, they have, what it is they have like a little, like this little invisible string, like magicians use.
Yeah.
And they have like an old school boom box with a tape deck, and they tie the string around the little spinners for the tape deck. And then they attach this over on the wall, and then as they press play, it spins, and it makes them dance.
And then they just sell you paper.
And they just sold me a piece of paper. I spent €5 on a couple pieces of paper. that they had tied to a little boombox thing, and the kids were like sobbing.
100% scam.
And they're like, "Why would they tell you something that wasn't true?" And I'm like, "This is a good lesson. This is why I don't buy stuff from people on the street. This is why you always should know what you're getting yourself into. Don't let people trick you." And they're like, "But why would they not tell the truth?
We're gonna have these little dancing guys."
I thought they were magic. I swear, I watched him do it.
You were like young me that went into the Disneyland magic shop and saw the guy making the money out of the money-making machine, and I thought, I'm going to be a millionaire. Yeah. I'm going to buy this. It's going to print money. And then I got it. I'm like, this is garbage.
And I told you, I'm like, how? How did I fall for this? I don't fall for things. But he was good. He showed it to me, and I looked right at it. He let me hold it.
You didn't see the fishing line?
No, because it's not fishing line. It's like that invisible thread stuff. Like, I watched him. I looked right at it, and I saw him do it. It was floating in the air and magically dancing when I looked at it. So they're
just like straight up con artists.
Oh, complete. There's a little street magician guy. Did a little trick, and I'm like, I got to have that.
Oh, my gosh.
So, yeah, he got me. And the kids, so from then on, though, the rest of the trip, when someone was selling stuff on the streets, because before that, the kids were like, "Oh, can we get that?" I'm like, "No, we're not buying this stuff." From then on, they're like, "Don't buy that, Daddy. They're lying to you."
You're probably so happy.
Oh, yeah. Now they know. So it was worth the €5 to teach them the lesson. It was a €5 lesson.
So then they didn't want to go for all that.
Yeah, because there's all kinds of guys selling like whatever little junk toys, and they're, "Don't buy it, Daddy. It's lies. They're not telling the truth."
All right. So the cruise itself.
It was really interesting.
So it was kind of.
It was a great way to get around and see all the different spots in the Mediterranean. We wouldn't have gotten to Malta otherwise, and we wouldn't have gotten to Sicily.
But the food, you said, was very underwhelming.
It was very underwhelming.
And they charged for like every little extra thing.
Not just water. Like,
well, that's what I was gonna say. How did you survive? Not just on the cruise, but overall, because I mean, you knew this going in, so that's probably why you were able to survive. If you hadn't known going in, I could feel like it would be a different story. But Europe as a whole is free refills are not. It's not a thing.
Not only are free refills not included,
free water is not a thing.
Yeah,
in all of Europe. So at least you were prepared.
I was prepared.
You knew that was coming because you've been before.
That was a shock when I went.
It was a shock for me. And so, I mean, I've told you the story where because of that, I ended up I found out that like one of the only places you could get free refills was Hard Rock Cafe.
Right.
And we ended up staying in Hard Rock Cafe so long that we actually got asked to leave. Because I'm like,
even their refills, they're
very
okay.
But I had to, like, I'm like fighting with them. I got like 7 or 8 refills out of this guy, and then they seriously were like, "You must leave now."
Well, the only place that we found was Burger King.
Mm-hmm.
McDonald's does not do free refills, but Burger King does. They have this fountain. So much so was it drilled in our brain that when we first went to Burger King and they had the thing, we went up and we're like, "Are we allowed to refill?" They're like, "Yeah, you do it yourself. I don't come out and do it." I'm like, "Oh, okay. I just want to make sure." But nobody did. None of the customers refill. We sat and watched, and not a single.
Does that mean that like it is the soda that's like why Americans like?
I guess because they don't. I saw people get one, but when they're done,
like a lot of people don't even drink soda in Europe because it costs more than like anything.
Well, especially like you could get wine or beer for the same price as it, and water is cheaper. But not by much.
And you don't get refills.
You don't get. They bring a can out.
So is it soda? It's just what's like.
Well, so our solution was we went to grocery stores and just loaded up on 2-liter bottles because the grocery stores are dirt cheap.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you can, we got tons of stuff, and we kind of alternated between like buying food at groceries and then eating out. We tried not to eat out like every meal because that's expensive and whatever. But we got some cool stuff. My favorite. We got some cool Doritos. We got the cool American flavored Doritos, which is pretty great. A lot of paprika flavored stuff, which was really good. I don't know. We got some good like groceries. A lot of good candies. Oh my gosh!
All right, since we're running out of time and we do have some reader mail.
All right,
stuff, what was your like? Oh, we have one more thing I want to talk about. Popeye.
Oh, we got to talk about Popeye
Island. Village. So what was the Popeye Village like on Malta? This is on Malta.
If you're watching the YouTube stream, I'm still wearing my Popeye bracelet just because I had to prove I really went there. Malta is gorgeous, and it's funny because by the time we got there, we had been to so many ruins and so many churches and stuff and that whole island is just full of history and all these things. But I'm like, we have to go to Popeye Village, so we're going to bypass all the history of that, and we're going to go to the history of Robin Williams' 1980 masterpiece, Popeye. And it's crazy because the whole thing is based on the movie, and they do have some history of the comics, but it's very much based on the world of the movie.
Well, yeah, because I mean that's where they filmed
they filmed it, and it's all intact there. the crazy part is they have the characters there, but Olive Oil in particular runs the park. And I don't just mean like she's in charge of the characters, but like when they had problem with the audio stuff, she went over and fixed it. When we went to the puppet show, she ran the puppet show. When they did like announcements, she made the announcements. She ran the park, but she was also Olive Oil.
Someone asked is there a Kingdom Hearts ride? I don't know.
Where?
I don't know. They were asking Kingdom Hearts ride ? In Tivoli, maybe?
Oh, the Tivoli. Not there, no.
All right, maybe they were just asking.
Maybe just in general. I mean, there could be. I would think that'd be like in Japan, if anything. But not that I've
been kind of obsessed with Dubai theme parks lately because Derek's been getting me into like watching.
That's another place they might have.
And like they have there's like this one theme park though that has like all these like licensed rides, but they're all terrible. Like the Ghostbusters ride is terrible.
Well, the only ride at the Popeye one is the boat, which was.
So what was the boat ride?
And it goes out into the bay. Like there's the final scene in it where he fights Bluto and an octopus like in a cave.
Yeah. And
it takes you out and around all the caves where they shot that stuff. So that was really cool.
That's cool.
But then they have like all the houses you can go in there. The puppet show. I think Matt might have posted some pictures of me in the puppet show because they picked me. Well, so we first met Olive Oil and she took pictures with our kids and she asked where we're from. And the great part is they're all Maltese and they speak Maltese, but because it's all
Maltese
based,
like Italian.
It's its own. No, it's like its own thing. I don't know what it's related to. We didn't recognize any words in it, like so I don't know. But they're all doing the voices of the characters from the movie. So in her like Maltese accent, she's doing a Shelley Duvall's Olive Oil talk. So she's like, "Hi, welcome to Popeye's Village." I can't like you got to see the video because it's amazing. And so she asked where we're from. And we said, California. California. Oh, California. So everywhere the rest of the day, because it's not that big of a park. Whenever she'd see us, she'd go, California, like that. So when we went to
guys were like celebrities.
When we went to the puppet show, she's like, California, come up here. So the whole puppet show was wimpy. And the great part, the puppet show, it was just in this little room. There's a hole in the wall. And Olive Oil comes out and Popeye goes in behind the wall. And he does like the puppets inside because they only have like 3 or 4 characters. There's Popeye, Olive Oil, Bluto, and then they have some like random dancers that go around with them. And so Popeye's doing it, and the story is it's wimpy and he's hungry, but then someone stole all his burgers, and he's trying to figure out who stole his burgers. And he's like, maybe it was someone in this room. So he calls up like this little girl, and he's like, breathe in my face. And then she breathes in his face, and he's like, oh, you smell like roses.
Are they doing this in English?
Yeah, but like again, they're doing their impression of like he's doing his Robin Williams impression in like a Maltese accent. It's incredible. Absolutely incredible. So, and then he calls this other person up. Oh, you smell like, sandwiches. That's not you. And then they call me up and he's like, and he pretends to die. And he's like, oh, I hope that's not my hamburger. Oh, it's horrible. And like, that was like the punchline. The whole place kind of felt like a Boy Scout camp, like sketches and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, but in Popeye theme, it was great. It was great.
And you got to see the shooting.
We got to see where they shot it off. They have like a whole projection room where they just show the movie on loop. So we watched a little bit of it with the kids so they could see like where it was from. It was amazing. Oh, okay. With your ticket, when you get in, you get a ticket to the park that includes all the stuff. You get a ticket to go on the boat. You get access to the swim beach, and there's a whole like swim lagoon with a waterfall.
Oh, yeah?
And like in the Mediterranean, it's gorgeous. We swam for a while. And you get a free postcard.
Damn.
And you get a cup of Popeye's Punch. So we went to like the little snack shop and asked for Popeye's Punch, and they said, "Oh, the kids don't get it, just for the adults."
Oh, is it boozy?
Well, yeah, I thought it was like, oh, but we paid for them too. But then it's like, yeah, like this I don't know what it was, some little shot of something like that, and then Popeye's Punch. So I got a picture of us all drinking Popeye's Punch at Popeye's bar, and and they have a swimming pool and a whole like swimming kids area too.
Wow,
it's so weird. Like it's such a weird mix, and there's restaurants.
But Malta as a whole was like amazing.
It's just gorgeous, yeah. And history, they have crossing signs everywhere for hedgehogs. And I don't know
if you see any hedgehogs.
I didn't. I don't know if they're wild there or what. And we asked the taxi driver, and I don't think he understood what I meant. I don't think they call them hedgehogs, so he didn't know what I was talking about. Yeah, but it was cool. It was just really, really cool, and they have great bus system there. So it got us across.
Made it.
Yeah, with Strang's help. His advice was very helpful. It got us to the place we needed to go.
Thank you, Strang.
So it was insane. It was awesome. The pictures are great. You got to see the pictures.
So what was like your absolute favorite thing on the trip?
Oh, that's hard. I mean, because there's kind of like 2 worlds. Because we did super touristy stuff like going to the Tivoli or Legoland or whatever, Popeye's Village. But then we had like the most amazing history, like Like the Colosseum and the Forum were incredible. The castles in Denmark were like just mind blowing. So like if you compare the two of those, it's kind of hard. But the Tivoli was probably the best like actual theme park, whereas Popeye's Village was probably the best like, oh my gosh, like awesome tourist trap theme park that I loved. And as far as history, this castle that we went to in Denmark probably was just insane. The gardens there were incredible, and I don't know, it was just all so great. I loved it. We went to this crazy church in...
You didn't just have any like horrific experiences or anything?
No, not really. I mean, the closest to that was the water situation on the cruise, where they don't even give you tap water. They told us to drink out of the bathroom in our rooms. And there's one water spout on the entire like hotel or the cruise ship. It's in the buffet.
So the line was like
20 minutes, and it's one little water spout, like where you'd have at a drink station. But it came out really slow, and they said don't put your water bottles, but everyone just stuck their water bottles right on there, so everyone's mouth was all over it. And that was our one water source for the whole cruise.
That sounds like dangerous.
I mean, they're going to have disease spread on that thing like crazy, or someone's going to pass out or something. So we wound up, when we got off at a port, we just bought a bunch of water and sodas and brought it back on the boat. So we lived, but that was kind of crazy. I thought we were going to die of heat and no water. The water slides on the cruise ship were awesome, though. Like they had like a 5 water slide park, including like one of the spiral ones, you like shoot out like the toilet one.
Yeah.
And it was really good. Yeah, and they have the water slide that goes like out over the edge of the boat, so you look down at like the ocean.
Do you have any like fat alert experiences at like the theme parks or anything?
No, like I was definitely like, I was just in line. Like if I'd gone at the end of the trip to Legoland, there might have been a couple I couldn't have gotten on. There was a couple of spots where like they had to lean on me a little bit and it clicked in, but for the most part it worked pretty well.
That's good.
Nothing too bad. On the airplane, our big international flights were pretty roomy, but like the little hopper ones we did in between, like from Denmark to Italy, those are tight. Those are like being on a bus, and we had some close quarters. On the way back, someone barfed all over the people in front of them.
Oh.
And it was like a couple rows. It was on the other side of the plane and like 2 rows in front of us, and it was horrific.
Oh my god!
So that was pretty bad.
Can you imagine being on a plane and getting barfed on?
Now I think they were related to the people in front of them, but even still, like I can't imagine. Like, and then they had like, because that was on the one. I think that was back to Spain. That was like a 3-hour flight.
So they like didn't use an air sick bag.
No, it was a teenager and just went blah, and it was just all over the backs of the seats, all over, and they have touch screens in there, so all over the computer touch screen and everything, all in the magazine rack in the back, and it was awful. It was
just the whole plane stink.
Well, fortunately, I was so like congested I couldn't smell anything, but I'm pretty sure it did. Because I got a little bit, I'm still like on the tail end of kicking a little bit of Europe funk.
Great.
I'm fine now.
We're going into Comic-Con, man.
I don't get the Comic-Con
I'm like
funk
you're gonna get sick probably.
I'm at the end of it. It wasn't ever super bad, but I took a few NyQuils.
All right.
It was an amazing trip. I'm back now. If you want to hear more details about it, we're gonna be talking in more detail on Mandarin Orange Show. So if you think of more things you want to know, you can hit us up over there.
Speaking of hitting us up, we do have some reader mail, and then we're probably going to be out. And next week we'll do Amazon and our big Comic-Con.
Yeah, later this week.
Next episode, which will drop Thursday morning.
Perfect.
Just in time.
Just in time.
I'm just glad you're back.
Wow. Yeah, I know.
Thank you,
long.
Derek. It's not a chat
he
anymore,
left.
but thank you,
I told him
Derek. I think you filled in quite well. Man, I'm excited for Comic-Con, and we're all going to be hanging out. And let's get this reader mail out of the way. This is from several episodes back from Mario. Because we're talking, this is just various. You won't know any of the references.
I know, because I have not listened to any of the ones I was gone. I didn't listen to anything.
So, because we were talking about when I got
TV
called
while we were
Slurpee.
gone.
So he says, some people call me Slurpee. Some people call me the gangster of love. So like, that's my,
Okay.
What's your favorite strain of weed for your bong? # bong alert. I already said I don't have a favorite strain. I'm not a strain. Because of a lawsuit, Luke Skywalker of 2 Live Crew changed his name to Luke Campbell. I did remember, like, because Lucasfilm.
Yeah. All right.
I don't know if that's true or not, but I can see it.
That makes sense.
But I know they remember Moss Isley, they had to change it.
They changed
Well,
it.
that's what we were talking about, because I told because Derek had me do every week we did a Phil fact.
Okay.
So because he's like, so you don't miss Phil.
Okay.
So nobody misses Phil. So I would tell various facts. So I talked about the whole you basically discovered Isley.
Yeah, that's cool.
And because I just listened to one of their, they have a newish album.
Yeah, well, I think they're working on another.
Well, because now I think some of the older kids aren't in the band anymore.
Yeah, they've rotated. It's still cousins and stuff, but
some of a
couple of them got married and had kids and stuff.
But the main girl is still, she was the youngest.
Yeah, but she's still. They're still at least her.
And so I was listening to their stuff. It's really good.
It is.
They're really good.
And some of the ones that are in it now have been in, it's like the Beach Boys kind of thing.
But just that when they recorded on Popvox, they were still Moss Isley. And then when they got signed, they had to change.
Well, and I think it was probably preventative. It never got to the point where they got sued. But when they got signed, they're like, yeah, you need to change that.
You can't tour and have your name on a poster.
And it was with 2 S's. That's how they justified it, as opposed to 1, but still.
All right, and then we got There Goes Derek Derailment. Oh, because we're calling it a Derek Derailment.
Okay.
Derailing the letter reading.
Yeah. Okay.
Warning: fidget spinners are exploding. That's exploding fidget spinners. That's one of those big stories.
Everything I've seen though, that's just like a clickbait. They're not actually. There's nothing to explode in them. Yeah. They're little pieces of plastic and metal.
It's clickbait.
There's no stuff. There's nothing in it. It's not a powered thing.
Poop talk check. Oh yeah, because we were talking about poop.
Oh, that's good. I'm glad you guys filled that in.
What's your favorite phone app? Currently, I'm I don't really have a lot of apps. Even though I did get a new phone that has double the storage, I'm still kind of
not enough.
Sticking. Well, no, I just like the Yeah. I don't I hate. It was nice not having notifications bombarding you all the time. So I stayed off of it.
So my favorite is Safari. That's where I do everything.
For me, it's Chrome.
Yeah,
I do everything in there, and then I use Instagram and Twitter. I use those apps. But I took Facebook off because now not having the notifications is so great.
Yeah.
Because if I want to, I can go to it, but it's not always calling me.
Right.
And I like that.
You're in control.
My old favorite app, definitely, I was really into the WWE Champions game and all the WWE games. Because first I was obsessed with the Super Card game, then I was obsessed with the Topps trading card game. Then they came out with the Champions. The one I didn't do was they have a fighting one that's kind of like that DC game. I think it's the same guys that make it, and it turns them into these mythical heroes, and you fight. A fighting game on a phone, I'm just not into that. Where I don't know, I'm just not into that. I don't like really complex games on a phone. I just feel like
puzzle games are about my limit.
Yeah. Because I know you can get anything now, but Grand Theft, I'm that doesn't seem fun. Right. And also it takes up your whole phone space, and
I don't understand. It's why I'm still convinced that although I realize cell phones have cut into handheld space a lot, I don't think that's going to be a thing, because not having a dedicated device it's still not appealing to a lot of people.
So my favorite app would definitely be the Kindle app. That's the thing I get the most out of. I read books constantly. Speaking of books, we'll be talking about next week. Did you do any reading while you were
I did. I read 2 of the Gables ones. So I'm on book 6 or 7 now.
Yeah.
So I'm glad. I didn't read tons because we didn't.
That series.
It's great, right?
That last book is freaking brutal. I knew it was coming, and she foreshadows it. If you pay attention, you know exactly what's gonna happen. But even when it does, but it's still is devastating when it does happen. But she straight up says 3 books before it happens, he died on this in world. It basically, but I can see how you might miss it. But she alludes to it 3 books before. This kid's gonna die in World War I. You know it's coming. But I think a lot of, I guess, because I read some a lot of reviews, and I think people miss that.
Yeah.
But she foreshadows it, and even if you know it's coming, it's devastating. Oh,
well, and that's the whole 3rd movie from that original Anne series. That's all World War I stuff.
World War I is awful.
Yeah, well, dude, you got to watch Wonder Woman because it's all World War I too, and it's.
Whoa. But Downton Abbey. That was where I learned a lot about World War One. There was also a movie where they went to World War One, Legends of the Fall. I think, where one of the brothers goes away and there's like scenes because trench warfare. It's like, and it's just like brutal and trench foot and like a lot of guys just died of like hygiene stuff and like awful. Nasty. And then just like trench warfare is awful and like I don't know, it's awful. It just sounds really awful. And also that was like still when like our Air Force was like biplanes and just all that stuff and so like things like that. But like just reading that book is pretty. And then I read the Chronicles of Avonlea, and this is where I do want to ask you, the second Chronicles of Avonlea has some really weird stories. There are two in particular. Okay. One where it's basically about this dude who he basically adopts his best friend's daughter when his best friend dies, and then he realizes he's in love with her, and then he marries her. And I'm like, I don't care any way you look at it. That is screwed up.
It's the Woody Allen story.
It's disturbing. Yeah. And then the second one is about this Native American woman who basically she's like, well, I'm Native American, so I'm inferior, so I can't, of course I can't be with this white dude. And so then like he of course is with a white woman, but then he gets shot, and then she goes and gets help, and then she gets to take care of his body when he dies. And that's supposed to be a romantic story.
That's funny.
It's so those two I couldn't give it 5 stars. I'm like, these are way too messed up.
See, I haven't read those in a long time.
But some of them are really, some of the stories are like really cool. Yeah. But like some of them like,
well, it's cool having more in the universe.
But so I read both of those. So, and then I was like, and then the books that I have the other, like the Liver Money or whatever, Liver Money, some of the other books that she wrote.
I haven't read any of her.
So I haven't. Stuff. So it has like, but I haven't. I'm like,
there's more Avonlea stuff too, like even more like extended short stories. Because there's the 2 Chronicles ones, and there's the Story Girl.
Oh,
ones,
I guess I haven't read those.
Which is what a lot of the stuff they got from the Avonlea TV series is always on Disney Channel. A lot of it comes from that, and some of it was from Chronicles of Avonlea too.
Okay.
And I think they might just be different collections. Like it might depend on the edition. So maybe you've read them all. I don't know.
But I did all that, and now I'm like back on like. But I'll talk more about books next time. We got to wrap this up.
Yeah.
We got to turn on the air conditioner for a minute.
Do a quick stand.
It's so freaking hot.
I want to stand outside for a minute.
All right, so we are gonna be back on Thursday with our Comic-Con, our annual. This is like our 5th annual Comic-Con spectacular episode. It'll be next time. What are we gonna call this one?
We're gonna call this one
Back
to BTW. Back to the Western Hemisphere. I don't know. Plain barf.
All right.
We don't have to call it that.
No, we're calling it that.
All right, plain barf.
That's awful.
That's good.
It's so hot. Oh, we didn't even finish.
Oh yeah, a couple more for Mario.
Brendo's different voice was perfect for radio WNBC. Oh, because after the New Japan, I had like this very deep radio baritone. It was actually kind of awesome. It's like, hey, this is like, it was just like really, because I like yelled so much during those New Japan shows. Making friends with James Franco, and you could be the next Jonah Hill or Danny McBride. The thought has crossed my mind. What if I do become wrestle buddies?
Could.
If he comes back, we'll see.
You could be friends with Oscar winner James Franco after.
Derek would be the 5th Derek lookalike bride in the Dubai harem. Oh, because Derek said he doesn't want to go to Dubai because he's convinced there's some sheik somewhere with like a Derek fetish. And then what if he like gets kidnapped? So the joke would be like he goes, and then there's like a bunch of people that look like
Derek,
since he's like obsessed. Because like you hear about people getting kidnapped there.
Yeah.
So then he ends up in a harem of Derek's. A Derem.
A Derekum. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right. We got to wrap this up. So
we do.
Be sure to go to radiobrendo.com. Use our contact form if you want us to read your musings.
Then we shall.
We need another Kalmbach.
We do. Where you at, Mark?
Well, I know he's around.
Yeah.
He's been posting some stuff.
Did he leave you a message? You should call him back.
That's real bad.
That's real bad. You miss me. Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, one really fast story.
Okay.
They one of the places we visited in Venice. I forgot to talk about Venice.
Oh.
And they have like a little like a camp, not a camp, like a home for people who can't see.
Mm-hmm.
They call them the Venetian blinds, and it was really cool to see that.
That's real bad. Stop talking right now.
Uh-huh.
I was wondering where you were going with that. I'm like, what?
Yeah. Oh, on Malta, we saw the Maltese falcon, so that was cool.
Did you actually see a falcon on Malta? You were probably just pray you would.
I just pointed out to a bird and said, "There it is." I didn't wait for.
What if you had seen a falcon?
That would have been even better. But everywhere we went. Yeah.
Oh, do you want to hear something? This is. Oh, I have one last question for you because. Two
last questions.
One, I have to tell the story. I think I already did tell the story. It was my first Phil fact about your freaking ketchup. Your sun-dried tomato ketchup.
Oh, yes, it's
you made a giant deal of. And then, no joke, I immediately went to the store. I'm looking at pickles, and I look over, and there is your precious ketchup.
The same brand?
Yes, it's I took a picture. I sent it to you.
I saw.
It's the exact one.
I didn't know.
It's at Stater Brothers, your precious rare ketchup that you've never seen before. You want to know why I've never seen it before? Because you never stepped foot in a grocery store.
This is true.
You probably think everything is a rare item.
Yeah, we have this rare drink called milk.
You're like, oh, you probably think that like freaking sriracha is hard to find.
You have sriracha?
They do have sriracha ketchup now.
I saw that.
It was right next to your
right next to the sun-dried. Did you try any sun-dried tomato ketchup?
I did. It's weird.
It's good, huh?
It's weird. Well, you can have it back and your mustard.
Good. I'll bring that home. Well, you can have the mustard.
I don't want your mustard.
Okay.
I got my own mustard.
Get your own mustard.
I'm a brown mustard.
Oh, I'm yellow mustard. All right, that was one. What's the other one?
The second one was, I think I've asked you this before because I still don't know all the intricacies of your like aversion to nuts.
Okay.
So how do nut goodies fit in?
Here's the thing. Nuts are not gross to me. It's the context of the nuts.
Okay.
And it's the ratio of nut to other ingredients. So, for instance,
what about
nut goodie,
Snickers?
I like Snickers because there's more sugar and caramel and stuff.
Is Payday where you draw the line?
Yeah, I don't like Paydays. Wow. However, if I'm like desperate for something, I might eat a Payday because they're sweet enough.
Okay.
I don't like I
would. I'm about to tell you good news. Then.
Okay.
Since I know your nut goodies are like,
I do love
number one candy, one of your tops.
It's up there.
Well, they have nut goodies at Walgreens.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, this is good news, but also bad news because
you know what else they have? I know you have a bag.
Okay.
But they do have. It's the only place I've seen the Heat Wave Doritos.
Oh yeah.
Because they those were
had a bag.
Well, they have Heat Wave Doritos and they have nut goodies at Walgreens.
We might have to make a Walgreens stop tomorrow and get some nut goodies because
they're in the candy aisle. They're just right there in the candy aisle.
Because those used to be like, you could only get.
Well, you know where else they had them, and I told you, and I don't think you ever took advantage of it.
Where
they had them at the Fresh and Easy.
Oh yeah.
They also had Maltesers.
We got a lot of Maltesers in Europe. They had those everywhere.
They did for a minute have them at Walgreens as well because they got them there.
I like those better than Whoppers.
Yeah, they're way better than Whoppers. Yeah. I like Whoppers a lot.
I do too, but
Maltesers, there's something about because here's what it is. Whoppers sometimes you get like you'll get like even in like the perfect brand new box of Whoppers, you get some of like the real chewy
like
ones,
the gummy one almost,
and like Maltesers are every one is like perfect.
Yeah,
it's the perfect consistency, and the way they got the crunch, but if you want, they're super melty too. Yeah. Like they just melt in your mouth.
Well, and there's a little bit more chocolate to malt ratio as well, which I like. Those are good.
They're amazing.
Yeah. Oh, dude. We gotta step outside for a second.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's gonna do it for this episode of Radio BrendoMan. So for Radio BrendoMan, I'm Brendan Creecy.
And I'm Phil Vecchio.
Have a good one, everybody. And John Goobang Doo. I didn't even talk about my stand-up.
I know. Well, next one we'll have to do that. Oh, dude. Speaking of standing up.
Turn the AC on.
Oh, gosh.
Turn the AC on.
Why are you grabbing it? Oh, gosh.
Open the door.
Let's just go outside. It's going to die. Dying. All right, YouTube. We'll be right back. Gotta go. Oh, I gotta show you. Oh, gosh.
Check this out. And then I'll take it out there.
Okay.
I have it set to 77 because I was like costing so much money.
Yeah. Dude, our electricity bill while we were gone was like $30.
You have really good insulation, by the way, because I was always expecting when I opened your door for it to just be like banking in there, and it never really.
Yeah. We do have really good.
It's like even like oh yeah, I also got
Get a glass of water. All right. Is this like Europe?
this is tap water.
No, it's fine.
house we lived in where the water was always I don't know whether I'm like a big like drink right out of the sink. I don't know.
No, me too. It's funny because we have like our.
Like the second my dad taught me to like cup your hands, I was like, I did that like all day long.
Hoses. We have a little pitcher in our fridge, but that's just to keep it extra cold in there. I'm not worried about the filter.
I'm not a filter. I'm a cold guy. I have this for cold.
Right. Well, I know I'm more likely to drink water if I have cold water. Which is why I keep it in there. So water,
I like it.
Yeah.
I don't care about it. Like,
It's water. There's just as much crap in bottled water as there is in tap water. Or a little crap. It's fine water. Unless you live in more horrible places.
or most of the Northern California. I did get really scared for a minute because I read about like it was like a big follow up on like the whole Aaron Brockovich thing.
Oh, yeah.
And how they pretty much paid their fines and paid their settlements, and the water is still just as bad. In fact, it's spreading farther and farther. Like they're saying within like the next 20 years, like all of California. Like that's what they're saying. Like at some point, like to some degree, like there have been traces popping up like as far south as San Diego.
Wow.
Like
what was it?
It's a bunch of different. It's from like these super fun. Well, it's from the super fun sites, like the disposal.
Oh
like,
yeah.
It's both toxic. It's like it's like nuclear disposal, toxic waste disposal, factory. It's a combination.
Speaking of that, so remember Talisha?
But the second all that stuff gets into the groundwater,
yeah,
and that's what happened. And then it's like everywhere.
So you remember Talisha she was a YCC, and her dad was the pastor. And before we met her, her mom had passed away, so her dad was single for a while. And like, right as like I was leaving YCC, his dad was like dating this lady, and he wound up getting remarried to her, or he married her, so it was the second marriage. And she is super wealthy, and we found out it's because she was a recipient of some of the payouts from the settlements from the Aaron Brockovich. So she bought him like a really nice Mustang and all this stuff. Like, how did she have all this money? That's how. I shouldn't have like gone on about that, but yeah.
Oh, don't forget your ketchup.
Oh yeah. It's precious. Apparently, not as precious as I thought.
I just thought it was funny that it was like immediately.
No, Janelle was like making fun of me. She's like, "Oh, here's their ketchup. It's special to me." So, we're back, YouTube. Oh gosh, it's so hot. It's gonna be really hot at Comic-Con this year. Scared.
I've sensed a lot of like lounging.
Yes. In fact, if it's as bad as I think it is, like sitting around all day in the Indigo Ballroom might not be such a bad idea. So I don't know if I'm going to want to walk around. I don't know. It's hot.
I'm up for it.
We'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Just remember, Saturday is Hall H Day.
So Friday is the day, though, that it would be the Indigo Ballroom Day.
That'd be Indigo Ballroom Day.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
I say just plain barf.
Just plain barf. That's good. See? Dumb and funny. It was horrible, though.
All I can think about is I remember one time on the submarine ride, like I think somebody like a baby like pooped or something, and you know how it's all just recirculated. And I seriously thought, because you know it's like blowing right. I seriously thought I was gonna throw up.
Did you see that thing I posted in Mandarin Orange Show? That news story?
One? Oh,
where a plane got grounded because someone farted so bad it made people sick. Can you imagine? People were puking because it farted. Someone farted
bad.
So bad.
The only time I've ever seen anything like that was I don't know which Jackass it was in, but there's one where like he farts into like this thing and it's basically like a tube going into a gas mask.
Oh my god!
And I think like Bam or somebody with a gas mask, and he throws up inside the gas mask.
Okay.
Because it's just the fart goes directly into the gas mask, so it's like pure fart, and he throws up inside the mask.
Okay, on this trip, I wanted Matthew to get to tell this, but we got our breathing mask, right? Matthew has a breathing mask, but his is only over his nose, so it goes straight into his nostrils. And he on the cruise, they had like bunk beds, and he was on the bottom bunk of the bunk bed. So he had his like mask set up on a little chair, and usually it's like on the floor or something, but he had it on this little chair, so it was right like at his butt. And he woke himself up one morning because he farted into the intake valve of his thing, and it pumped his own fart into his nose. And he's like, oh, and he woke up and he couldn't breathe because he farted himself awake.
Oh my god! What if you like killed yourself?
Methane poisoning.
I just read a thing, because you know they're saying like methane from cows is like destroying the earth and all this stuff. They did some study where they figured out that like they gave cows like just a small portion of seaweed, and it like lowered their methane output by like 99%. So I'm like, if I eat seaweed, will I like fart less?
That's
like,
weird.
Because they're trying to figure out a way to like lower this like cow methane.
Right. All the cow farts.
What are you doing?
Get one more quick drink of water.
Okay. Holy crap.
What?
I just realized I haven't gotten my results back from the optometrist ever.
Are you serious? That was like over a month ago.
I know, they're the worst. I called them once and they said, oh, we're a little bit backed up. And then I forgot about it.
You should probably like follow up on that.
What if I have glaucoma and they haven't
told you?
I know, that makes me feel like if I did have it and they haven't told me, I'm pretty sure I'm looking at like a lawsuit.
Yeah, like that's something they should tell you. So maybe you don't, then maybe that's a good sign.
Yeah, but also they should tell me, like, why haven't, what kind of business are they running?
No, that's shady.
This place is the worst. Nobody go to Focus Vision in Ukaipa or Beaumont. They're terrible.
Maybe they're focused on vision and
they're focused on making me cry in their office and then making me feel bad.
Why are you such a crazy person that you want to know about your stuff?
I'm not in customer service. I'm not a salesman. I'm a doctor.
What's she, like Bones?
As I said, this is bad customer service. And I'm not a salesman. I'm a doctor. Like, it's still customer service.
Yeah, you're still serving.
You still took my money in exchange for goods.
Man,
I'm paying you, and I'm not getting good service. It doesn't give you the right to be a jerk.
No, that's bad news.
But it's right there. It's so convenient.
So you get what you drive for.
You get what you drive for.
All right, should I turn this off here?
I wish we could magically edit out the air conditioner.
We can have it humming in the background.
No, it would be so bad. It would like wreck the recording.
Pretty sure I had it running in the hotel in Piso when we recorded our vacation one.
Yeah, and there was a few times where you could definitely hear it, especially when Levelator like brought up Janelle's level.
Yep.
Then you could really.
But let me tell you, it was so hot in there. I wasn't gonna turn off the air.
Well, it's summertime in Italy.
Yeah, it's hot there. It's amazing how much like California Italy is, though. Like both in landscape and just weather and stuff. Like if you didn't know and see the signs in Italian and you just like looked off the freeway, you'd think you were just in like San Fernando Valley.
I thought like parts of Spain, like especially like the beach and stuff. I'm like, this is like San Diego.
Yeah,
like,
well, the whole like Mediterranean. but in particular, like driving through the middle of Italy, like just looks like Southern California. Really crazy. And everyone has fill yards there. Everyone's got like fruit trees in the back. There's always dudes out there just raking and picking fruit. It's pretty great.
So were you pleased with your front yard?
Yeah, it looks great.
The backyard not too nuts?
Yeah, it's fine. I haven't done anything else to it since I got home, so it's too hot. I went out and watered, but that's all.
I watered the tree a couple times. It's not dead, right?
It's alive still. It's good. That's all I can ask.
I was like, oh, because for a while I forgot. It's like, oh no.
Well, that's why I said it didn't have to be like all the time. Even just a couple times helps, helps it from getting, because there is some water going to it over there. It's just not like enough for those, but it's fine.
Did you move all those plants so they would be so they would get water?
Yeah.
Because there's like that line of plants.
Yeah, that's why I put them there. Because those are all our inside plants.
Oh, gotcha.
I don't want you to have to water them and then
plants inside.
Well, they're all ones that like Janelle got as gifts. We might as well keep them alive. We need to make them dead, so I just stuck them out there. I'm not like super worried about it, but they're all alive still. Except the basil one, that one we bought, like that's just live basil. We use that for cooking, and it just keeps growing more, and you just pick off of it.
Nice,
it's great.
All right, we gotta get this.
All right, ready?
Frig, dude.
Better talk fast. The air stopped. Tab suspended. Got your timers off.
No. Why?
Ugh. Oh.
So hot. Who Centvero is?
I don't know.
Centvero Rando Hot Dough. Too hot. Hello, and welcome to another episode of Radio BrendoMan. I'm Brendan Creecy.
And I'm Phil Vecchio.
And this is going to end up being our Comic-Con super preview annual.
Indeed.
Giant size.
Before we get to that, though, we have to talk about one thing in case we don't get to it later.
Oh, yeah.
Because last night we did something really cool.
We're recording this on Tuesday because last night when we were going to record, he said, hey, let's go to this open mic.
Yeah.
And at first I was like, I don't want to do that. I haven't watched Game of Thrones yet. He said, well, let's record on Tuesday so that way you can watch your Game of Thrones. Because at first you were like, let's record early.
But then you had to watch Game of Thrones.
Like, I got to watch Game of Thrones because I've already gotten stuff spoiled. I didn't want any more things spoiled. And so I was like, fine. Because then I thought about it. I'm like, no, I should do it. Because my brother had just told me, like, you should go to a mixed mic. You should do it.
Yeah.
That's like how you really prove you're a comic. If you can win over people at a mixed mic, then like you got the stuff.
Well, in this one we weren't even sure at first because the title just said music and poetry.
Yeah, but then like in the description, because you found like it on Facebook or
right.
something.
And so I just saw the part that said music, comedy, dance, and poetry.
Yeah.
So I wound up calling and they said, yeah, it's everything.
Well, so we went to this mic and it's like super artsy. It was like, I'm going to say 75% poetry.
At least.
There was like a couple musicians and then it was all poetry.
Yeah. And then one comedian.
And it was like very like just avant-garde out there.
All over the place.
Like very explicit.
Yeah.
Because at first I was like, because I had heard like depending on something, like, am I even gonna be able to like do my stuff here? Because like, you know, whatever.
Yeah,
and
because it's a coffee shop, but they have like a separate downstairs.
But it's like downstairs in this basement. And first of all, I thought you were gonna die from heat exhaustion.
I thought I was gonna puke from heat exhaustion. That's for sure. I almost did. Like I was sitting there, like I can't leave.
You were like, I
don't
right now. So you're like, do we need to go outside? You're like, I'm fine. I'm like, are you sure?
I thought I was gonna barf. Once we got outside afterwards and it was cool, I was fine. It was just the heat. It was just so.
Well, it's really hot right now.
It is.
It's been because we've been in like the high 90s.
Yeah.
Even at night, and like it just gets real gross. And with the air conditioner off.
Well, here if I'm gonna puke, I can run to your sink at least. So it won't be like in front of people.
Don't puke on me.
But it was just like last night. And there were so many bodies in there, so the air was just stagnant.
Well, it was really. So we got there, we signed up, and like we almost like I didn't think we were gonna get on. Like you didn't get because you signed up to do because you accidentally told me that you would bring your guitar and sing a song.
In the process of trying to convince Brendan to do it, I was like, I'll bring my guitar if you do it, because I thought at that point you were saying no, and then later you're like, okay, we'll do it. And I'm like, okay. And you're like, don't forget your guitar. And I'm like, what? And you're like, you said. So I brought my guitar and I signed up, but I didn't wind up getting because they didn't have enough room for everybody.
But I think I got picked because I was the only comedian.
Definitely. Because I was just another dude with a guitar, but you were the only comedian.
So I get up there and I killed it. Baby.
Well, and it was a 2-hour-long thing, and you didn't get called up until like an hour and 40 minutes.
So it was like 10:40.
Yeah, like right near the end.
It was the most I've ever been up on stage. I did for like 6 minutes.
Yeah, it was like a little over
7 minutes.
Yeah,
it was almost 7 minutes.
6:40 or something like that. And there's video if you guys go in the
you go to the group. YouTube or in the Radio BrendoMan Facebook group, but youtube.com/BrendoMan. You can get that there, or on our Instagram. I put a clip up.
And as you can hear from the video, like the crowd was totally into it.
They asked me to come back.
Got like hugs and like thank yous and good jobs. So it was pretty good.
I had my new jokes that before I had only told to you, and they ended up working out real well. And
it's funny because you had told me like the premises, but it's not the same as hearing it like as part of the thing.
Well, because for me, I don't know how other people do it. I mean, I guess everybody has their different process, but like I'll write something out, but then when I'm actually up there, it kind of just flows. Like the delivery, like a lot of that like delivery, and then like my tags and transitions, like I come up with on the fly.
Yeah, because when you were like beforehand, you were kind of reading me notes of what you're gonna do, and you did those things, but it's not how it sounds when you're actually doing it at all. It's a very different presentation.
Yeah. Well, I think I owe a lot of that to Marin's definitely like my biggest influence, especially since he's probably a comedian I've like seen and heard the most.
Right.
And like I've also heard him talk a lot about like him doing like how he does comedy. So I think it's really soaked in a lot. And so like it's been so I think that's helped. And then watching my brother and then being around comedians and then just like, and then also I think I think a lot of it is watching like DC Pearson and those guys at Smodcastle for those few months and seeing like I got to see so many comedians. I mean, I saw Pete Holmes and Kumail like twice, and like when they were just starting out in LA. Yeah. But like seeing them, and so I think I've absorbed a lot.
Well, speaking of Kumail, since I just watched The Big Sick this week,
and
there's a whole bunch of the stand-up scenes in there, and when you were like running through this stuff beforehand, I'm like, this is like in the movie, and then you did it, and I'm like videoing you in the audience and stuff. I'm like, this is just like it was.
So is that one of the reasons why you wanted to? Like,
I think that's probably why I started like looking around for something, because I was like all inspired by the movie, and I'm like, Brendan's got to do this, and then I found that, and I'm like, we got to do it.
Well, it was a huge success.
It was great. Well, another thing that was fun is that, like, he would say if it was there's a lot of returning people that go all the time, but he would say if it was a person's first time. So he said, like, are you guys ready for some comedy? And he's like, hey, Brendan, this is your first time, right? And you're like, yeah. And I know, like, in that room, everyone's like, first time comedian, like, is this going to suck? Like, this could be real bad. So you already had that, like, and then you were good. So then it was, like, even better, because they were.
It's a huge crowd response.
It was. And there's what, like 40, 50 people in there, probably like something like 40, that?
50.
Which is, I mean, I don't know. It could have been 10 people. We didn't know what to expect. So it was really good. And you can hear on there, like, you got good laughs, finished with a good, strong bit.
Yeah.
It was really funny.
I got like a new solid bit about Unsolved Mystery. I think I've even done the Unsolved Mystery stuff, maybe even on this show.
We've talked some about it, but again, it's different.
But
even
like,
when you're talking on the podcast, it's a different presentation.
The way I did it there, though, I had never done that before, and I came up with that like on the fly. Like I had like the framework for like that whole thing where like watching Lifetime and the only things that were on that channel that I feel like I watched that all the time as a kid was because, you know, back when you had cable, it was like, because I remember Lifetime was channel 26 and Nickelodeon was channel 28, and so I would flip, and if there was like, because, you know, in the afternoons there would be like little kid stuff on Nickelodeon, but there would be like Supermarket Sweep and Shop Till You Drop, and then Unsolved Mysteries on Lifetime, which is so weird. So that's where I came. I'm like, what can I do with this? I'm like, and then I'm like, yeah, I have a weird view of women because women. I mean, that taught me that women like shopping and murder, and that was, I think, your
biggest laugh was that one. But it was great. It was so much fun, and I had like heard the recording of you, but this is the first time I got to see you do it live, so that was really cool.
Yeah.
You guys should check it out. And you're going to go back again. The guy asked you back.
Yeah.
So that's pretty awesome.
Yeah. So I was like asking my brother for some advice. Like, should I write all new material? Should I just work on what I have? And he said to work on what I have, because if you can perfect that where you're like get the most laughs, and then because like especially at open mics, that's like kind of what people do.
Yeah. Well, even like the poetry people were doing ones they said they'd done before and stuff.
So, but I do have a few other jokes that I didn't get to tell that I've been wanting to try out.
So you mix some old and new in there.
And then, you know, we'll see.
You guys should definitely watch the video, go on the YouTube or go on the
And hey, if you are a booker or you want me to come.
Yeah, you listen to it and check it out because it's good.
Or you know somebody looking for, I don't know, in the Los Angeles greater area, or if you want to pay me to come out to do comedy.
Plus, our local friends, you're going to be going back on Monday in Riverside.
Yeah, Monday at Riverside at what's it called?
Back to the Grind. It's free.
It's between 9 and 11.
So you
I could go on at any time between 9 and 11.
But there's a pretty good chance you will, because he asked you to come back.
Yeah.
So you guys should come out. Some of you guys.
That's it. Back to the Grind in Riverside.
Yeah.
Monday night.
It's free, but you should probably buy a drink.
So we might permanently shift our recording schedule.
Because Brendan might just do this like on a regular basis now.
Yeah.
Which would be pretty cool.
And you're gonna become the cool singing dude. It's gonna happen.
Well, he told me to come back and he'd get me on next time, but honestly, it was mostly just to support you.
Yeah, but you're getting up there.
But I got to do it now. One of these times I want to bring Janelle and do it with her too, but it's definitely not the kind of thing we could bring the kids to.
No.
But anyway.
Well, speaking of music, you can get our, I guess it's not music, but records.
Speaking of us talking.
Yeah, us talking. You can, I don't know why I never thought about plugging our own stuff during our plugs.
That's true.
But this was something I started while you were gone. Be sure to buy our Radio BrendoMan 7-inch at the Popbox Music store, which easily enough is at popboxmusic.com/store.
That's pretty simple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you can buy our record there.
A couple listeners have, and have posted pictures and sent stuff back about it.
And we will send you the MP3 if you buy that record.
Yes.
Also, buy our book. Because we got a book.
Yeah.
Second book coming soon.
Coming soonish.
Yeah, work on that.
Hey,
get that done so I can get the Patreon going, man.
I just got back. Already on my back.
Well, if you want to encourage Phil by buying our first book, I guess.
It's true.
And you can get that on Amazon or lulu.com, and there's links at braxcomics.com to both of those. However you want to buy the book.
Probably be a new comic up this week, too.
Yeah.
In honor of Comic-Con, so.
Also, be sure to listen to our podcast using your favorite podcast app. Rate, review, subscribe. Stitcher's good. And be sure to, again, thumbs up, rate.
Yeah. Leave a comment. Whatever else you do.
I don't know. Help the algorithms.
Yeah. Share it.
Share it with your friends. Tell your friends. Share it on Facebook. Whatever.
Tweet
it.
Instagram it.
I don't know how you would do that.
I don't know.
You can post a picture, fan art,
any of those things. That'd be awesome.
But also be sure to listen to all the other Benview podcasts, including Phil's other podcasts, which are the Mandarin Orange Show, and the other one, Alex P. Keaton, is my friend. But you're on a hiatus right now.
Well, the last episode of the season just went up after a little delay.
Hiatus.
A hiatus from the hiatus.
The pre-hiatus hiatus.
Yeah. So, and there's a new Mandarin Orange Show, and we're actually going to record one more before we leave for Comic-Con, so that'll be up.
When are you going to record that?
Like, I don't know. Well, at tomorrow day or night. Depends on when Janelle's got all these trainings all throughout, so it depends on when she's around.
Because teachers, that's what they do during the summer.
Yeah. She's got like school trainings, and she's doing like support providing trainings, and I can't keep track of it all. I don't know.
Yeah, because like every program, all the different programs and stuff, even like non-directly school related, that's the only time they know the teachers are going to be available to do all this stuff. So like I know teachers are like, I'm going on this retreat, I'm going to this conference, I'm going to this thing.
Yeah. So there's a whole like 2-day conference thing. Well, it's Sunday through Tuesday.
Which one is it?
That one, I don't know. It's out. That's the one some Palm Springs are going to. So I say that we're going to record before we leave, but who knows? We might record in the hotel while we're down there, or it might not be till next week. Who knows? But we'll get another one out there soon. And there's a new one about the first half of our Europe trip out. So that's cool.
Well, you can also, as your podcast, but there's new Benview Network podcasts.
What's new?
We got Super Mario Brothers Minute. We got Anna Musings, which it's David King and Caleb Berry going through once a month, each Disney animated movie in order, starting with Snow White.
That's very cool.
And then Nothing New, a remake podcast with Andrew Lindy and Justin Keys on. They talk about like original and a remake.
Oh, that's cool.
Movie. And I don't know if you've heard their advertisements, but they are remakes of popular Benview Network ads. There's one that's a remake of the Radio BrendoMan ad.
I gotta listen to that. That's funny stuff.
And yeah, it's very entertaining. So, you know what else is entertaining is making your own website.
That's right.
On dreamhost.com. And you can go to radiobrendo.com and click the DreamHost link to save $50 off your DreamHost order.
You know, right before we left on our trip, we had to buy adapters. We waited too long to get our adapters for electricity in Europe. We got it on Amazon Prime, and it came in like a day. And it came just in time for us to leave.
You know what else came? Like my ball cap buddy that I got so I can wash my hats.
Yeah. Amazon Prime.
It's great. That reminds me, I got to charge my battery chargers.
Yeah.
Charge your chargers.
Charge your chargers, everyone. If you want to get some chargers, you can get a free Amazon Prime subscription trial from us by going to our website and clicking Amazon Prime.
Free Amazon Prime subscription trial.
That's what it is. Prime subscription trial. And 30 days free, and then you get all the cool stuff.
Where do they do that?
Go to radiobrendo.com and click Amazon Prime subscription trial.
Oh my gosh, Phil, I'm so hot.
See, I'm melting. And you get all kinds of good stuff. You could buy a fan or an air conditioner through it, or some ice.
Magic silent fan.
Yeah, we need that. But if you already have that and you want to still help us out,
do you think they used like expert like noise removal?
No, they definitely are quiet. Like they don't record with noise.
So there's no way they record noise.
No.
Because how would you be able to get it out of vocal tracks?
No, yeah, there's absolutely there's not.
So there's gotta be some kind of crazy, because there's no way that like Beyonce's putting up with 90-degree heat in a studio. So there's gotta be something.
They only record in the winter. Winter has come at
last. So it's got to be some kind of central system where like it's probably so far away, the actual thing, that you don't hear the system, and it's like just gently, and it's like freezing cold, and it's just gently like just pushing out.
They just have a guy with a piece of like really stiff cardboard gently fanning on the outside of it, so it's so quiet you can't hear it. It's
got to be like some really expensive HVAC
I'm sure it is
system.
But you can get all kinds of things.
That's
on
why
Amazon.
all those big studio albums cost so much money.
Yep, it's air conditioning. Forget all the other stuff. It's just air conditioning. That's their electric bill.
But you can buy that stuff on Amazon, even if you don't have Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
Go to radiobrendo.com, click the Amazon link, and you could buy stuff for us, not for us, for you.
Buy stuff for us,
for you. But you're also buying it for us because a portion of that will go to us.
Right.
And it's the easiest way to help the show at no cost to you, except the low prices that you're paying for the products. And some people bought a lot of products.
What do people buy this week?
All right, we got a Baofeng UV VR 5R dual band 2-way radio. It's like a walkie-talkie.
Cool. Oh, hey, real quick, Steve Espinosa's in the chat. What's going on?
It is Radio Brendo after midnight.
Yeah.
It's so hot.
Hot after midnight.
Hot after midnight.
Hot after midnight.
Okay, we got Linen Spa Premium Mattress Protector, 100% waterproof, hyperallergenic 10-year. I need to get a new mattress protector. Mine like tore up, and now I don't have one. And then my mattress has gotten all like.
Yeah, you gotta have that.
It's gotten a little.
And you like sweat into it.
It's not good.
Or like if you puke in the middle of the night, it goes straight into your thing.
That's
more of a kid thing, I guess. But
I puked on the side.
You did. That's true. So it could happen.
I can't believe I did that. Ugh. All right, then we got Meddling Kids, a novel, a Blyton Summer Detective Club adventure. This sounds like something that might be right up Phil's alley.
Yeah, is it? Well, at first I thought it was like a Scooby-Doo book or something, but it sounds like it's probably inspired
Meddling
by that.
Kids.
I would have done it too.
The mystery team story.
It totally is it.
Oh, dude, it's totally like.
Oh no, it is. It's like a mystery team type thing.
Yeah. It subverts teen detective archetypes like Hardy Boys, The Famous Five, and Scooby-Doo. This actually,
this is probably great.
This sounds pretty cool. Got 3.5 out of 4 stars. Entertainment Weekly.
Yeah, that looks awesome.
Well, definitely gotta look into that. It's a whole series too.
I would have too if it weren't for you meddling kids. I like it.
All right. Yeah, Anaheim Ducks NHL hockey cap, American Needle cotton twill, one size.
Someone else is wearing their hats for the summer.
Yeah, Clorox. See, that's the thing though. I'm a non-sport.
It's true.
Person because like
wrestling though.
Yeah, that's about as sporty as I get. Yeah. But I'm not gonna wear like I considered wearing like a Padres hat, but I'm just like I'm not really that guy.
Yeah.
Because then people want to talk to you about baseball.
And you don't,
it's basically saying, "Hey, talk to me about sports," right. And then I'll be like,
"I grew up in San Diego."
But because wearing a team is like an open invitation. Like, please talk to me about sports, and I don't want people to talk about sports. Whereas wrestling, it's like, please talk to me about wrestling. People will talk to you
about wrestling.
And if they don't know wrestling, they're just like, "Oh, that's a cool looking hat." And because I wore my Shane McMahon hat last night, people probably just thought it's a cool hat.
Speaking of sports, I played soccer when we were in Europe.
Yeah,
on multiple occasions because the kids were like super into it until Audrey got hit in the face. How
close are your kids to wanting to play organized sports?
I think after this, Luke might want to try soccer because
he's really good. What are you gonna do, soccer dad?
I don't know.
You gonna want to get up at like Saturday and Sunday mornings for those games and bring in the orange slices and
no.
What if they ask you to coach? But here's the thing.
So we stayed at this little bed and breakfast and they had a soccer thing and the guy who owned it, like this, grandpa age guy, but he's like, in great shape. Mm-hmm. And he brought out the soccer ball and we were all playing. And then he came out with Luke and was like teaching him how to like not juggle. What do they call
it? Dribble. But juggle and dribble
he can like tapping on his feet and stuff. And he was playing with Luke and he's like, oh, and he kept telling me like, I can't, whatever name of this like super soccer star. He's the next this. He's going to be great. And he was like running around playing with him.
Well, Luke is very athletic.
He is. And Luke can like run down the field with the ball, like dribbling it the whole way down. And
you may have an athlete on your hands.
I think I might. And what am I going to do? But then also,
the idea of you going to any game and it anything
me sick to my stomach. I don't know what I'll do. I'll be the guy like in the field, like playing my.
Just so you don't have to talk to the other dads about sports. Because sport dads are the worst dads.
I cannot imagine. And then We also rented bikes in Denmark because
Yeah.
that's what you do. And
awesome.
I fell twice.
Oh yeah, you wiped out.
And
you wiped out hard.
I have like you can see. Oh, you didn't see my full scab. Let me show you.
Oh, gross.
Shit, look at this. Look at this thing.
Oh, it looks like you got like holes.
Oh, dude, it was like dug in. This
gosh.
is like a week and a half of healing still.
That's gross.
So yeah, I ate it real hard on the cement in front of a bunch of Danish people, and all the cars stopped, and they're like, "Are you okay?" And I was all embarrassed, laying on the ground and stuff. So that's my sports. All right, back to Amazon.
All right, we got Clorox disinfecting wipes, value pack, fresh scent and citrus blend, 225 count.
Yeah,
that's a good deal. Baofeng red UV. This is another Baofeng dual band. This is a ham two-way radio. Improved, stronger case, enhanced.
That's cool.
Features. Yeah, BT C3400 with car adapter, universal battery charger, analyzer, tester for lithium-ion rechargeable batteries. So it's a
someone either making something here, putting together a radio kit.
Oh, here we go. Tugu beauty tool. Metal grooming rake, comb, silver tone for pet cat dog.
Cat dog. Oh, like that Nickelodeon
Pet cat dog.
Yeah. Pet cat dog.
But Tugu. Registered trademark. STK 20-pack, extra thick magic cleaning sponges, eraser sponge for all surfaces. It's like a magic eraser.
Just add water to erase? Like, isn't that how all sponges are?
You know those magic erasers, like the whole thing.
Okay.
They actually work really well. I almost bought some at the New Japan because you could get them with like the wrestlers on it, and they like had their they had some where you could get where they were signed. And I'm like, I don't know if I that's a little too much. Like an Okada sponge. I don't know. It was like super Japanese. It was kind of like a lot of people were buying them because one of their sponsors was like this cleaning product company. And yeah,
that's pretty funny.
And they did their press conference at like this Japanese store out in Altadena or Gardena.
Okay.
Or I don't know, somewhere out there.
Those are both a thing out there.
And like it was this super Japanese store. It was pretty cool, funny, and they were just everybody's really polite, and they had like all this weird, cool little stuff. All right, we got Fire HD 8 tablet. Somebody probably brought that on Prime Day because there was all
a lot of deals there.
Because the new Fire tablets have Alexa like built in, you know, and yeah, so those are cheap. If you want a good solid tablet for a low price, that's fraction of the price of an iPad. All right, we got Empire of Storms. I don't know what that is, so let's click on it. And
sorry, we couldn't find that page. Lucy, Meet the Dogs of Amazon? What the heck does that mean?
It's something that doesn't exist.
Wow.
They're dogs of Amazon. Well, I don't know what Empire of Storms is.
Or what the dogs of Amazon are.
Yeah, NHL Anaheim Ducks men's miracle short sleeves. So I got Ducks, got the
t-shirt,
jersey, the shirt, and a hat. Oh, somebody bought Story Thieves.
Oh, nice.
Because it was a deal, Amazon deal last month in June.
Sweet.
It was only $199 or I think $299 on digital.
Well, whoever it is, you're gonna like it.
Yeah, we had a few people buy it.
Nice.
All right, we got Baofeng. Another Baofeng. Two-way radio with one more TID battery car charge. Oh, this is like a mic. I think this is like pieces for like a ham radio.
I think someone's building a radio
or something.
I think they call it a pork radio.
Oh, look at that! It's even got like the little like walkie thing, and it's like a full like ham two-way radio things.
That's cool.
That looks pretty cool. Baofeng.
Is that the new Goobang Do? Baofeng?
Maybe.
I don't know. Until we meet Mark from Goobang Do. Or Mark from Princeton, rather.
Mark from Princeton or John from Princeton? Mark from Princeton.
John Goobang Do.
Yeah.
Mark from Princeton. Because it was John Goobang Do. Remember? Yeah.
We got PlayStation 4 Pro. PS4 Pro, 1 terabyte. Oh, that's a never fill up. That was the Destiny 2. The Destiny 2 bundle.
Nice.
Someone's going all out. Speaking of going all out, you can go all out on our Facebook group and
yes, you can
spend all day there looking at stuff. I love that Derek's like, all I see here is a bunch of Phil trolling.
It's not trolling. That's Phil being Phil.
Yeah.
I legitimately think they should change Condor Flats to Condor Man Land. Why not? It's built in.
Because nobody will know.
They should. I'm still a proponent for them taking Condor Man into the Marvel fold. I want new comics.
What would you do if Condor Man shows up in a Marvel movie?
I would flip out. I would lose my mind.
Okay, so Comic-Con. So let's say like Thursday at Comic-Con, we're walking down the hall. You see Kevin Feige. Are you gonna? Is that your move? Like,
dude,
Kevin,
Condor Man.
Come
on, man.
Make him like Condor Man. Stick him in the end of Infinity War. I know you can do it.
Yeah, that would be my dream. I mean, they left off at the end of the original Condor Man saying, "Okay, here's your next mission," and he whispers in his ear, and Condor Man's like, and he's all excited, and we never got to find out what he whispered.
That's because nobody saw that movie.
I saw that movie a lot of times. I can quote that movie front to back, every single moment of that movie.
Could you like get up on a stage right now and like act out the whole movie?
Probably so.
That's amazing.
I mean, at least scenes out
Phil
of the movie.
Phil does Condor Man.
Two people.
Get you a theater.
Oh, Gopher Boy, what would you do now?
All right, sure. Check out our subreddit. I don't think I've seen that in like since you made me watch it in like 1998.
My kids will make you watch it now because they love it.
Also, check out our Clicker Heroes clans.
Yeah.
Radio BrendoMan, Mandarin Orange Show, and John Goobang Doo.
Yeah.
That's JON space Goo space Bang space Doo. DOO.
We got a lot of movers and shakers.
Need an update from the John Goobang Doo camp.
Yeah, how's that going there?
All right, be sure to check out myvacationpants.com. We already mentioned the Mandarin Orange Show. Also, how's things going? How did Mountain Rim Escapes?
Great. It's kind of crazy because they have like employees now, and they have like a manager lady that ran the whole thing for them while they were on. So like they didn't have to do anything.
It's nice.
They're like CEOs now.
It's a true turnkey business.
Yeah, it's kind of nuts. I mean, they like followed some of the updates, but they didn't have to do anything the whole time.
Well, MountainRimEscapes.com, if you're going to be heading up to Big Bear anytime, it's a lovely time of year to go up to Big Bear.
Yeah, get out of the
They
heat.
had some bad thunderstorms a couple weeks ago. My neighbor said he got caught. They were actually out on the lake.
Oh, really?
Like when the thunderstorms like hit, and he said it was kind of scary.
It's cooler up there than it is down here, though.
But he said the thunderstorms were not fun.
I'll just stay inside.
But you MountainRimEscapes.com, use the code Radio BrendoMan for $5 off each ticket and a special exclusive gift at the game. Also, check out our friends at Crude Ink. A cool vinyl artwork. Etsy.com/shop/Crude Ink. Also, I just want to give a shout out. April Richardson is releasing a new zine.
Oh, nice.
Which you can order at our website, aprilrichardson.com. I already ordered mine. It's only $5. Postage paid.
Sweet.
Her zines are awesome, and she's awesome. And if you want to hear more about her talking about zines with us, you can go back and listen to
LA
Podfest episode. And I'm looking forward. I hope she's at LA Podfest this year.
Yeah.
They know Bill Burr is going to be there. I'm hoping maybe that'll be a good new guest.
Yeah, we
on
have
the
not
show.
spoken with him
if you
yet.
get Bill Burr on the show, I think that'd be pretty fun. I could see him giving you the business.
I'd like to get the business.
Yeah. I know because TJ Miller tried to give you the business. It did not happen. TJ Miller's been because he left Silicon Valley.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He said he wants to focus on doing stand-up, and that's what it sounds like what he's been doing.
Huh.
People are like, oh, he's going off the deep end, but actually, I don't know. He sounds more like I listened to him he was on a podcast and I think he was on Nerdist, and I'm like, oh wow, he's really got his head together.
Huh.
I guess he was just he never saw his wife because between Silicon Valley and trying being on the road, he's something has to give, and for him.
That's
but everybody's like, oh, TJ Miller's throwing. Everybody's making fun of him for being the Emoji Movie, and he's like, I wanted to do something for kids because he has the kids are all excited about the Emoji Movie.
Plus, dude, voiceover work is sweet.
Yeah.
You can mock it all you want.
That's his big thing. He's like, if you got offered that job, you would take it.
Yeah.
Anybody that says they wouldn't is a liar.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
But he's getting. If you look at his Twitter, that's all it is people giving him a hard time about Emoji Movie.
Hey, my kids are dying to see that. That's like their must-see movie of the season.
Yeah. And he already has like a kid following from like Yogi Bear and a bunch of other voice stuff that he does.
Oh, because he's a voice on Gravity Falls too, I think, right?
He does a lot of.
He's on a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, Gravity Falls is one of his big ones.
Yeah, and I know some others too.
In Crash, he like these kids. He's like at this place. He sees kids like, "Hey, you guys see Yogi Bear Gravity Falls?" He's like, "No." He's like, "You guys suck." Like, he's like, he thinks he's gonna be a hit with the kid,
right? That's
and then
funny.
his biggest thing, he's like, "It's not for you." Like,
right?
Why are you mad?
Don't
it's
watch
not
it
for
then.
you. Like,
you don't like it.
So it's funny what upsets people, but yeah,
dude, they've got poop emojis. My kids are all over it.
But yeah, I'm a big fan of his, especially now because he was so cool to us. Him and Cash. I'm excited because speaking of that, LA Podfest, we'll do it backwards.
All right.
LA Podfest, October 6th through 8th. We gotta get those tickets after Comic-Con, after Bola,
after all that,
after all these. I gotta, money.
Yeah,
it's not cheap. But I'm excited. Marin's gonna be there. They got more shows they've added and
very
lots
cool.
of good stuff. LAPodfest.com. I'm super. Oh, dude. Chris Mancini and Graham Elwood are going to be at Comic-Con, so I'm hoping we run into them, and that'll be cool. They're going to be doing some. I think they're doing a panel and some other stuff. We'll talk about that in a minute. So going back, this is the reverse of our schedule coming up. September 2nd through 3rd, Long Beach Comic-Con, longbeachcomiccon.com. What's going on with you? I
submitted, so
do we know? Like,
I haven't said anything yet, but they usually don't do it this early. So
it's coming up.
Yeah,
Comic-Con Palm Springs is in August. We're at a month for Comic-Con Palm Springs.
Oh yeah, that's coming up.
And then the Long Beach Comic-Con is the week after.
Yes, it is. Well, that's like a month and a half still.
It's still.
Right.
Well, ComicConPalmSprings.com, tickets going fast, and Stan Lee's gonna be there. Yeah. Linda Carter's gonna be there. They're doing all kinds of stuff. Oh, just announced for Long Beach Comic-Con, William Shatner himself.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Bill's gonna be there.
Nice. But I'm really excited for Comic-Con Palm Springs because that's where we're gonna be doing live radio BrendoMan, live shows, lots of good stuff.
Lots of panels.
Gonna be awesome. Panels.
Yeah, we got some new friends that are going to be hanging out there.
Very exciting.
Good stuff.
Yes.
As we get closer,
more announcements.
We'll have more announcements, but a lot of good things in the works there.
Here's something new. August 20th, just confirmed. Now that Phil's back.
That's right.
We had to wait for Phil. But me, you, and Derek, and Andrew are going to be back at the LA Comic Book and Sci-Fi Convention. So come on out. That's going to be at the Reef.
Yeah,
in downtown Los Angeles, and comicbooksci-fi.com. This is a big one. They got all kinds of guests. They got like a bunch of people from Batman 66 are going to be there. A bunch of like Arrow, whatnot. But the two big names, Tricia Helfer from Battlestar Galactica and Superman himself, Brandon Routh.
Man, I still think he got like a bum deal.
I do, because he was a great Superman.
He was.
And he could have been. I prefer him to Henry Cavill. Like, I'm sorry.
I think Henry Cavill does fine.
I think Henry Cavill does good, but
I think Brandon Routh is better.
I like Brandon Routh. I really do. And I was unfortunate, but that's that's a hot take.
Yeah.
Hot take. But yeah, so finally,
of course.
And this leads into, I guess this will lead into our main meet.
Straight into it.
Let's get into it. San Diego Comic-Con starting tomorrow. Well, today, if you're listening to this episode on Thursday.
True.
Our preview night will have happened. But our panel is going to be on Friday night at 9 p.m., room 32AB. Webcomics Advocates, you, me, Madeline, Holly Rising, and Patrick Scullin and Eddie D'Angelini.
It's going to be fantastic lineup. This is like the first time we've had that full lineup of everybody.
The biggest stacked lineup.
Yeah.
And I think it'll be a great time.
I'm going to moderate.
We're looking forward to it. Yes, we lost our moderator, Josh Forbes. Unfortunately, is working on a documentary right now. And
fortunately for him, I guess.
Gallagher documentary.
Yeah.
And it's apparently there's a Gallagher Fest.
Gotcha.
I think in Arizona somewhere that he's going to.
There's a watermelon calling to be smashed, and he's got.
I'm really excited for this documentary.
Yeah.
he's already filmed a ton of stuff with Gallagher.
Yeah.
And gone all over.
It's going to be very interesting.
And I think it's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
All right. So that being said, let's do our Comic-Con schedule rundown by day.
You made the app for me again this year.
And me.
And you're going to use the app.
This is my app too.
Good.
So you can go to BrendoMan.com. It's pretty much what I use BrendoMan.com for now.
It's my annual Comic-Con app.
With these are the schedule highlights, and then there's links to the full day schedule. So let's get up on this. So I know I just go by day and by time and order. And so these are my things that stuck out to me, or even I actually do look for things that might appeal to you.
Right, since this is the app I use.
So, okay, starting off at 10 a.m., which means probably not going to be there.
There's a good chance not.
But it's always, you got to put it.
Yeah.
You never know. Sometimes I wake up and I'm like, I'm ready to go. And blah, blah, blah. But usually no.
Probably.
Especially this year. I feel like it's going to be a real chill year.
Yeah, definitely.
Especially because it's hot.
It's going to be hot and humid.
All right, we got Dinosaurs, Monsters, Movies, and the Blues, Worlds of William Stout. I still have never been to a William Stout panel, but I've watched a documentary about him, and he just seems like such a cool guy. He's like one of the big like poster artists from like the 70s.
Yeah. And
his most famous one is probably Ralph Bakshi's Wizards and like Conan the Barbarian, and he did Pan's Labyrinth, but also he's just a really cool artist, cool guy. And he's been in the business forever, so he's got lots of stories. And I've always wanted to go to his panels, but unfortunately they're always at like 10 in the morning. But one of these days. I thought this sounded cool. So I kind of looked for a lot of cool. I always try and find those panels that like they sound awesome and they're probably not going to have a ton of people attending them.
Right.
And because you never know those hidden gems. So this one, it's called Jack Kirby's Consciousness, Robert Zelaney's Lord of Light, Barry Ira Geller, and The Real Argo. So this is the real story behind the whole movie project.
Right.
That is the fake movie.
Right.
That like was the Argo, and because in the movie Argo, John Goodman plays Jack Kirby.
Right.
And so they're going to talk about the mission and the script for Lord of Light, and Kirby's work and for it, and then so this is gonna be some of the guys that were on the mission are gonna be there.
That's really cool.
Mike Royer, one of the Jack Kirby's inker, and some of these and Jack Kirby is a fascinating person. So just hearing more about Jack Kirby, kind of cool.
That movie was great, by the way.
Yes. All right, we got there are several of these panels, and they all kind of sound similar, but I mostly put them because I'm mostly for Box Brown, because I'm really he did the Andre the Giant comic, and he does a bunch of stuff for Flannel Graph, he's an amazing illustrator. But he made the big thing. He's a featured guest this year at Comic-Con, so he's all over the place. But his big new book, he wrote a graphic novel about Tetris. I've heard it's amazing. I really want to get it. I might buy it there. I'm hoping I can cool. Buy it, maybe get him to sign it or something. And I also want to meet him and talk to it because he's a huge wrestling fan. And we've actually interacted on Twitter quite a bit.
Well, and I've gotten you stuff from Flannel Graph.
I have one from you. I have a Flannel Graph sticker from you. Brian Apodaca actually got me a couple sketches of his.
That's cool.
And then I have his Andre the Giant book.
Yeah.
Mark Bolton, I think, got that for me. But I'm a big fan of his. So they're doing this one is called Real World Retellings. So it's about this is fiction is fantastic. Sometimes so nonfiction true story comics. So these are cool. Talking about Dungeons and Dragons, the origins of Tetris, Vampire Slayers. So this is this is a discussion with Rise of. So there's a graphic novel about Gary Gygax called The Rise of Dungeon Master, and then Box talking about his Tetris book and some other things.
That's cool.
So there's several of these throughout. I put a couple of them on the schedule.
That's at 10 a.m. also.
Yeah. But I do want to, because it seems like Box Brown is doing the same panel like 5 times.
Really?
Which I think is because he's a featured guest. There's a bunch of different ones. Like one of them's like nonfiction, biographic novels. Like how many different ways can you have?
The same thing.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Okay, then this one, Ghostbusters 101, a Ghostbusters panel of biblical proportions. So I don't know if you're aware of this, but IDW has been doing Ghostbusters comics.
Okay.
And this new one that they're doing is it basically combines all the different Ghostbusters franchises. So the animated, the TV, so the TV show, the regular one. They've already done crossovers, but this is like everything together.
That's cool.
And IDW does great work, and they have a lot of talented people. So, again, like Ivan Reitman, that's the big one. Is Ivan Reitman is going to be there, and all the people talking, the Ghostbusters people from IDW.
Yeah.
So there's that. It's a 10-15. John Barrowman, always in. He's super entertaining. He's Captain Jack Harkness on Doctor Who, and the star of Torchwood, which I never finished Torchwood. I'm always keeping it in my back pocket. I'm also behind on Doctor Who, and now they've announced a new Doctor, and I'm like, man, I really got to catch up on all that. There. But John Barrowman is always super entertaining. He's also written a bunch of books with his wife, and then he's just, yeah. So always entertaining. That's at the Bayfront at 11, and then we got this. Sounds really cool. It's so there's a podcast called Batman the Animated Podcast, which I actually listened to an episode, and it's all about Batman the Animated Series. But they're doing a live episode, and it's with Kevin Conroy.
Oh, that's cool.
And other surprise guests.
The voice of Batman himself.
Yeah. But that's over at the library. They're doing a bunch of podcast stuff at the...
How far is that?
It's not that far, but it's definitely like a walk.
Okay.
And they're doing a whole bunch of stuff over there. They started that a couple years ago. But there's a lot of podcast-related stuff and other book-related things like happening over at the library.
Okay.
Then we got Spotlight on Jeff Smith. I don't know if you're from Bone.
Yeah, I know Bone.
So he created Bone, and he's also very entertaining. And so he's another featured guest this year. All right. Then you got 20th Century Fox Hall H panel, which we have learned is going to be like the new Predator movie.
Okay.
Shane Black, Predator, and then there's some other stuff. Derek was talking about
Venom? They need a Venom movie?
I think they might have. I don't know. It might be too early for anything related to that, but who knows? So that's their Hall H.
That's Sony.
No, it's Sony. You're right. Oh, so man. Fox will be like X-Men something. Like something.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was getting their stuff mixed up there.
All right. Then there's a Sherlock Comics panel with Stephen Moffat.
That's cool.
So Stephen Moffat and Sherlock Comics.
Like Sherlock.
And yeah.
Each audience member will receive a free gift.
Yeah. All right. Then I think you and I have been to this panel before.
This is the one I can't remember.
No, this was the one that was actually all right. That had Chunk from the Goonies.
Yeah.
So this is where it's called the Pitching Hour, and they talk about pitching. And that was actually pretty entertaining because they'll have like a lawyer and like a producer and then a writer. And then they talk all about like how to pitch.
We've definitely had mixed success with these
various
types of things. Some have been good.
This one is one of the better ones we've been to. They do it every year, and this one was definitely one of the better ones.
Yeah.
Because I remember it actually talked about how to get an agent, whereas some of them they like skip all that.
Like, if you don't have an agent, why are you even here?
I remember the one was the guy that told you if you don't live in LA, like that'll solve everything.
There you go. Because no one's ever moved to LA and not succeeded, right?
All right, and then I have heard that people I know that have seen this movie said it was amazing.
Okay,
so it's called
people in it.
It's called Brigsby Bear, and it's got the Lonely Island guys and Kyle Mooney and Beck Bennett and like a bunch of, and so this is in Hall H, but it's because Thursdays sometimes Hall H is like empty, so I feel like we might be able to go walk into this. Might be a fun one, and I think that could be really fun.
Yeah.
Because I walked in the Thursday and I saw Oliver Stone last year.
Just to see those like comedians would be fun.
I think that could be really fun. Seeing Lonely Island guys and SNL guys. Yeah. Like, I mean,
I'd be down with that.
So then Mondo, I don't think they've had a panel before.
Huh.
Mondo is doing a panel with some of their big artists like Jay Shaw and Tom Whalen, and like so there's that. That's at 1 p.m.
That's cool.
And then there's the WWE panel at 1. So I'll definitely be going to that. Huh? It's the 4 horsewomen of Bayley, Sasha Banks, Charlotte Flair, Becky Lynch, and then Nikki Bella. And they just announced that Brie, so both of the Bella twins are going to be there. And then moderated by Renee Young, who's my favorite. She's the hostess with the mostest. And so they still haven't announced what they're doing, their signings. And I talked to the Mattel guy at PWG, and he said they're doing the signings different this year. And it almost made it sound like, I think you might have to buy a figure to like do the signing. And I'm like not down with that.
Man.
So
what are you going to do?
I have to go to the Mattel booth on preview night to figure it out. But I don't know. We'll see what happens with those.
All right.
I don't know. After waiting in the standby line and not getting into the AJ Styles one, like that's a huge that was like 2 hours
that's the worst.
Wasted. So I don't know if I meet Sasha Banks at Comic-Con, like I might die. She's like Sasha and Bayley, they're all like all 4 of them are like they're the great, but like Sasha and Bayley especially are like my favorite.
All right.
So I don't know. I hope I get to meet them. And then so I know you're going to want to hear about that. So they're making a new Rocko's Modern Life movie.
Yeah.
And it's the whole cast. And they're all going to be there. Carlos Zachary. I don't know how you say his name. Carlos Zachary.
Yeah.
He's in Reno 911 and all that stuff. And then Tom Kenny and everybody. Filbert, Mr. Big Head. They're all going to be there.
That's awesome.
So that panel's happening Thursday, 1:45 p.m., room 6A. If I was not going to the Mattel panel, definitely going to that panel. So that's why I put that there, because I'm like, well, I'm at the Mattel panel. You can go to this. Because I know you like Rocko's Modern Life.
Right, I do.
But then there's also Disney Animation Studios, The Art of the Story. I feel like I went to one of these, and it was very fascinating because they got real deep into, because, the whole Disney animation world.
Yeah.
And they always have artists, and he'll be like, yeah, I worked on Little Mermaid, Beauty and the Beast, and this, and you're like, holy crap.
Yeah.
And then they usually have 1 or 2 old timers,
That'd be really
I think
cool.
the one that I went to was 7 or it was years ago, and one of them there was at least a couple of the 9 old men that were still alive that were on it, and I think that's why I went. I want to see them tell stories.
Yeah.
But they're all gone now. All right, we got DC Universe original movies 10th anniversary. So this is all their animated stuff, but I thought this sounded cool just because Bruce Timm is going to be there with Kevin Conroy and other people, Tara Strong, John DiMaggio, all their big voice
stuff is always fun.
And it's all DC, so that's really cool. And they're basically celebrating, because if there's one thing DC does do well, it's all their animated stuff.
Yeah,
it's all really good. So I thought that'd be cool. The big thing that's happening on Thursday in Ballroom 20, I can just imagine, is going to be nuts. There's a Battlestar Galactica reunion, a full on,
the more recent
one, the sci-fi.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. The one with the Starbuck that somebody we know does not like so much. All right, then I know this is another one I thought that you would be interested. Scott Mantz, how every year he does a panel about a year. This year they're already up to 1987.
It's a good year.
So we're going to be talking about
movie of all time:
Predator, Princess Bride, Lethal Weapon, Lost Boys, RoboCop, Near Dark, Spaceballs, Hellraiser, Untouchables, Running Man, and many more. So you got Mark Outman, Scott Mantz. I know that's your big. I know how much you and Scott Mantz are basically separated at birth. So I figured you might be interested.
Is there not a Rotten Tomatoes one this year?
There is.
Oh, there is. Okay.
But I told you they do it differently now.
Yeah,
you have to tweet.
Not to tweet, huh?
But they are doing it, I think.
I don't remember seeing it on here. But
maybe I didn't. Oh, maybe there isn't.
I don't know. I mean, I could have missed it, or maybe I'm forgetting.
I think I don't know. I'd have to look.
Okay.
All right, so that's 3 p.m. Then you got Robert Kirkman is doing a panel, and he's always entertaining. It's a Walking Dead dude. But I just figured you would be interested in this. Kind of how much you like Scott.
I like Scott, and I like The Princess Bride.
All right. Then we got Will Eisner. Why Will Eisner Still Matters at 100. After reading that Comics 101 book, I've been really fascinated by Will Eisner. Also, Paul Dini is going to be there, and Paul Dini is always cool. So that's why I put that there. Then Writing 101, what to think about before you start writing. So Marv Wolfman, who created a ton of Marvel characters, he's going to be talking. He's talking about specifically about story and how to develop a story. I've been to one of his writing panels. It's really cool. Like just talking about how to write like cool characters and writing story structure and stuff. And so, and not just comic specific, like just writing. Yeah. So then here's another one of those, which it sounds exactly like, but this is another Box Brown.
Box Brown one. But this one's later in the day, though.
Oh, wait, this isn't Box Brown.
But it's the same kind of idea.
But it's just like turning personal experience into relatable stories. So it's another one of those writing ones.
Yeah.
Like yeah. So just I thought it sounded like a cool writing panel. Again, I always like to have as many options.
Yeah. And
like a cool writing panel about how to like turn your story into a good, cool story. So I thought that was cool. And there were some cool people, like, all right. Then we got then Hall H. I usually put the Hall H stuff just to like, here's what's going on.
What's going on there?
So it's 2 new Netflix movies. Bright, which I found out it's Will Smith and Max Landis wrote the script. And then you got Death Note, which is it's an anime.
Okay.
Like a live action version of an anime that people are all people already have very strong opinions.
Well, as people do.
But
we all know how they felt about Avatar.
But so that's a good. I know a lot of people talking about Death Note, so I think and also this is 2 new Netflix movies.
Netflix has a pretty good track record.
Here's one that both I did this for myself, but also for you.
I saw this.
Gumby's returning to comics, and Paper Cuts is doing it, which they did the previous WWE comic, and they do a lot of licensed stuff, and they actually do really good work. But they do so. This is it's actually Joe and Jan Clokey, who are the creator's son and daughter. And then Rick Geary, who wrote a lot of the old Gumby comics. And then the new people that are working on the comic. So I just figured, Gumby's always fun.
I love Gumby.
And
my kids love Gumby.
And it'll be cool to hear like his kids talking about it, because I'm sure they have lots of cool memories. But then this panel always fills up. Yeah. So I've never even gotten into it. I've always wanted to. It's the Mark, Sergio, Stan, and Tom show, which is if you don't know, they added some new people, but it's Mark and Sergio plus Stan Sakai plus Tom Luth, who colors and writes tons of comics. But they're gonna be, I guess they are still making Gru.
Yeah.
Like, how long has Gru's been going on
for a long
forever? And I don't know. Those are like some of the coolest guys in comics, and they've seen and done everything, and but I know that those panels, they always fill up
because they're not in super big rooms either.
But it's all the old school Comic-Con people. Yeah. Because Mark Evanier is just a staple of Comic-Con, and that dude has the most, because that dude he's worked on he's been a TV writer. He's written books, he's written comics, he's met, just hearing, if you go on his website, just read his story about meeting Groucho. And then he actually got Groucho a cameo on Welcome Back, Kotter.
Really?
Oh dude, it's funny. Nuts. Just his stories with Groucho are fascinating. And then he wrote one of the best cartoons ever, Garfield and Friends. Garfield and Friends is amazing.
Love that show.
And he wrote the bulk of the series, dude.
Bulk of the series.
All right, then you got, so this panel is the one. This is my must panel for Thursday.
Okay.
Oh wait, no, it's not.
This is the graphic novels and stuff, right?
This is not the Marvel ones. I think this is part of it. This is weird because there's this one, Off the Rails, when Disney Park Attractions come to life, in books. So it's talking about novels and comics. This is Disney publishing, not the Marvel comics. So that's another panel. But this is still books about rides.
Space Mountain, Haunted Mansion, Jungle Cruise.
I want to hear about that.
Yeah.
Are they going to make Haunted Mansion novels?
I don't know.
I'd be totally down for that. because we got the new Haunted Mansion comic books at our library at work at the school. They are freaking awesome.
Really?
Because they first did the strange, like the one, it was like the Museum of the Weird.
Yeah.
But then they did a straight up Haunted Mansion one. Oh, dude! But all those, like they ordered them. Like you can, cause
that's cool.
We get graphic novels at school and stuff, and
so
like
you're allowed to check them out too.
I don't check them out. I just read them.
In there.
But like we got the Figment one. They're all really good. The Thunder Mountain, like they're all really good.
I was tempted to buy those at Walt Disney World, but
all right. Then we got they're doing a panel of Batman Mask of the Phantasm. And it's 25th anniversary, and so I mean,
that's cool.
It's a great movie, and you got Bruce Timm there, Kevin Conroy, and I don't know. I mean, I know it doesn't say Mark Hamill, but I'd be shocked if he doesn't like somehow
pop up there.
Could
happen.
All right, then we got. So this is one of the musts for Thursday, and I was conflicted because you have at the same exact time you have DC's Mad Panel, and then R.L. Stine is going to be at Comic-Con for the first time ever.
Wow. How are you going to choose?
I have to go to the Mad Panel. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Also, Derek's saying there's some rumors that DC might be canceling Mad.
I don't know. I'm about to resubscribe right now. I just got my thing.
Well, maybe we can ask him.
Yeah.
Because you got to get up there and ask questions because they give you free stuff.
Yeah, I want my free stuff.
Last year I got my Trump University diploma.
Yep.
And like free book. You didn't go last year to the Marvel
I didn't.
panel.
No, I don't remember. I missed it somehow.
You missed it. You were busy. You're with like your family or something.
Yeah. I don't know.
Get your kids. I don't know. You were doing something. But
I would definitely like to do that though.
But then that's happening at 4:30, and then at 4:30 also right next door at 60E, R.L. Stine's doing his first ever Comic-Con panel.
It's pretty crazy.
I love R.L. Stine. So
what if it was just
he's
Jack
doing
Black
other
as
stuff?
R.L.
Oh my
Stine.
God.
Did you ever watch the Goosebumps movie?
No, I need
you
to.
really should. It's
I know
really
I
good.
like it. All right. Also happening at 4:30. They're doing a panel. It's called Shroud of the Avatar. So it's the newest video game from Lord British, which I don't know if you're familiar.
Oh, yeah.
He created Ultima.
Yeah.
And he's an extremely fascinating human being. He spent his fortune to go into space. He was one of the first private citizens to go into space. There's actually a documentary about it.
Huh.
And he also, the thing about him that I'm most fascinated with and I was obsessed with for a minute is when he used to have this giant mansion in Texas, and every year he basically spent half the year making this insane haunted house maze that was an actual you had to it was like a game, and you had a guide, and some people didn't make it, not everybody made it through, and he opened it to the public, and people would seriously camp out for a month to go in it, and it's world famous, and there's some it took me for a while, but I found websites with pictures and stuff
because this is not happening anymore.
No, this is in the 80s and 90s, and it just, the whole thing sounds completely he seriously spent his fortune making this haunted, and every year he made it totally new and different, and it was a series of physical challenges, and there was a room where it was his pool, he turned it into a whole swamp, and he had to go across a bridge, and monsters would come out of the swamp and try and drag you into the thing, and you had a guide, and there was multiple ways through the maze, and there was an end thing where you had to solve a puzzle. If you didn't, there was an end boss, and it was a LARP game haunted attraction experience that he designed and built in his house every year, in his castle mansion.
So that's what you would ask him about.
And he's also the inspiration for the main character, the creator of, he's one of the inspirations in Ready Player One, the creator of just his eccentric rich creator guy. So I would love to meet him. So he's doing a panel if you're interested. That's 4:30. All right. I just thought this show looks funny. The new Fox show is called Ghosted with Craig Robinson and Adam Scott. I don't know if you've seen any of the.
No.
It looks really funny. So it's about a skeptic and a true believer, and they investigate. Like it's kind of like X-Files,
like a comedy.
Yeah, but with Craig Robinson and Adam Scott.
Great. That's a great team up.
And yeah, and so they're gonna be there.
That'd be a fun just to see them too.
Oh, dude, Craig Robinson and Adam Scott on a panel.
That'd be great.
So there's that, and then you got Nerdist and Hall H with Chris Hardwick and all the Nerdist people, and then oh my gosh, it's already. We gotta go faster. All right, we got Doctor Who. They're doing it. Oh, this is classic Doctor Who. So there's a classic Doctor Who with the 5th Doctor, Peter Davidson, and 6th Doctor Colin Baker.
All right.
And then talking about classic Doctor Who and their audio dramas, and they actually reconstructed, the whole. There's a bunch of lots, so they're slowly like reconstructing and finding footage and trying to. So they are streaming, and I don't know if you've ever. I checked out the BritBox. Because it's a streaming service. If you're an Anglophile, you need BritBox because it really has. It's the biggest collection of like BBC programming and other British stuff, and it's like a VOD service, and they have all the classic Doctor Who on it and stuff.
That's cool.
All right, we got GN's Game Changers. Oh, IGN, not GN. The main reason why I put this is because Hideo Kojima is going to be there.
Like
Metal Gear.
Metal Gear, yeah.
And he is a character and a half.
Interesting.
And on the same panel as Jeff Johns from DC and Gale Ann Hurd from like Walking Dead and like James Cameron's producer. And that just seems like a very
weird mix there, huh?
And also just Hideo Kojima, like, because he's like, an enigma. Then there's Legion, which I haven't watched it. I heard it's cool, but that's the New Mutants show.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, so it's all the people from that, and they're doing a panel in Ballroom 20. Then we got Star Trek Next 50 Years, and I thought you would be interested in that because it's Scott Mantz.
Scott Mantz there again.
Because you know how much he loves Star Trek.
Yeah.
Then we got Secrets to Greenlight Your Indie Project. I just thought that was a cool. And PJ Harzma, who made Con Man, was a guest on Movies Made Me.
Yeah.
And he's a cool. And so just hearing those guys talking about making stuff, that's over at the Marquee, which is where they're doing all the film school stuff.
Okay. That one sounds really interesting. I'd be down with that.
Well, then you also have at 5:30, you have Kevin Smith's Comic Book Movie Trivia Mayhem. So he's hosting like a trivia thing with like people from, I don't know, but it sounds cool.
Yeah, it'd be fun.
All right, then this is the Disney Kingdoms panel, which is the actual Marvel Comics series. And I went to that panel last year, and it was awesome. And so I would definitely be down. But I kind of want to go to Kevin's thing, but I don't know. We'll see. All right, then you got. I just thought this was interesting. Over in the Horton Grand Theater, which is all the ticketed things, you have to get up and go.
Right.
But they're doing this thing called Superhero Family Feud, and it's like different teams, and it's like creators of the different things. And Ryan North is on it,
which is pretty great. Love Ryan North.
All right, this sounds pretty interesting. Over at the Bayfront, they're doing. It's called Sounds of Sonic, and it's a full-on free concert where they're performing all the Sonic stuff.
That's cool.
If you're into music and stuff. All right. Ballroom 20, they are doing a panel for the new Marvel Inhumans show. And they're going to show the first 2 episodes.
Ooh,
oh, wait, cool. No. Yeah, it'll premiere a version of the first 2 episodes, which are also going to be screening in IMAX. But I'm really curious about that show.
Yeah, I got a lot to catch up on.
And then I put this in here because the trailer for this actually looked awesome.
Absolutely.
And I was completely unexpected.
Yep.
They're doing a panel, and I think we might have a good shot of getting into this panel because, like, and it doesn't say who's going to be on it, but they're doing a Lego Ninjago panel, and I don't know who's going to be on the panel, but the voices in it are Dave Franco, Jackie Chan, and Justin Theroux.
Yeah, which is
so like if any
awesome
of those
combo.
Guys are at the panel, like I kind of want to go to this panel.
Well, I honestly, I thought I had no
also, I know Lord and Miller worked on it.
Yeah.
So
I thought I had no interest in this
neither.
movie
And then I saw that trailer.
Armin?
Yeah.
Because the other Lego movies have been fantastic. You haven't seen Lego Batman
I still haven't
yet.
seen Lego Batman.
Oh my gosh. I still think that might be the best Batman movie.
All right, well, speaking of Batman, they are doing an Adam West celebration, and that's featuring Kevin Smith, Ralph Garman, and some other guys. So I think it's going to be really cool. All right. Have you watched Castlevania? I have not watched Castlevania yet. I've watched the first 2 episodes. It's really good.
Yeah.
It's really violent.
Yeah, I could tell from the trailer.
But I'm just really stoked because Warren Ellis wrote those scripts like ages ago. I remember when he wrote them, and he's like, I guess nothing's happening with these. Huh. And then Netflix ended up buying it. And I know Warren Ellis isn't going to be there, but he is going to have a special video message probably. But they are doing a panel for Castlevania.
That's awesome.
And I hope maybe they'll announce future plans because it's only 4 episodes.
Huh.
It's really good. It's one of the, video game stuff.
Yeah.
But it seems like anime stuff when it comes to video games has been like, you had not the Final Fantasy movie, but the Advent Children anime that they made was really good. The Street Fighter, I remember watching some of the Street Fighter anime stuff back in the day. That's where it's kind of seems more conducive. Super Show. Well, yeah, like animated stuff.
Plus, you remember those old like Donkey Kong and Pac-Man and cartoons, Q*bert, Frogger.
The Pac-Man cartoon was ridiculous.
I love that show though.
His voice. Hey, I'm Pac-Man. Oh no, it's just weird Pac-Man.
It's good though.
All right. This sounded kind of cool. Gunslingers, Half-Orcs, and Fireballs, a super fun guide to Dungeons and Dragons and tabletop RPGs. Just people talking about Dungeons and Dragons and stuff. I don't know. It sounds cool. And then there's like, after it, you can join them for a game session.
That's cool.
All right. Then this sounded kind of cool. Kung Fu Extravaganza 20th anniversary celebration. So this guy does like these film fests of like all kinds of Kung Fu stuff, but Graham and Chris are going to be on that panel.
That's cool.
And then they're talking about a bunch of Kung Fu stuff. That's at 8 p.m. So I thought that was cool. And then I'm very curious about this, but at the Horton Grand Theater, if you go to the Netflix booth, we got to go by the Netflix booth because they are going to be doing a surprise screening of something.
What's it going to be?
I've heard it might be Defenders.
Oh, well, that would make sense.
But there's lots of speculation. It could be something they haven't even. There's also rumors that it's something they haven't even announced yet.
What if it's just like the first 3 episodes of Stranger
Things? There's also some people saying it's going to be Stranger Things. So I don't know. There's a lot of speculation online because I tried to look. I even tried to crap.
And that was just Thursday?
I don't know. We got to go faster. All right, Friday. Biographical and autobiographical comics. So there you go.
That's another Box Brown
one. I want to see Box Brown at some point, but they're all really early. Hero Worship. I just thought this was interesting because if you want to go see Frank Miller, be Frank Miller. And he's never not entertaining on a panel, let me tell you. So he's going to be doing that. We got Intro to TV Writing. I feel like this might be one of the...
Yeah, this one feels like that one.
Yeah. From first draft to getting staffed.
Because that staffed part, that's when they're just going to talk about how to get your show staffed. Remember, that was that we went to that one. Or one just like...
Then we got Young Justice Q&A, which I thought was cool because they're bringing back Young Justice. I was a fan of that show, and they're bringing it back. I put this on here because I thought maybe Audrey was going to be there, but they are doing a My Little Pony panel, and they're going to be talking about the new My Little Pony, the movie.
Oh, yeah.
They're doing a straight-up new movie.
We already got that on the calendar, and that's because Audrey's birthday is in October, so that's what she wants to do for her birthday, is see that movie with her friend. So,
then you got Pogo, which Pogo is one of the many people call it the greatest newspaper strip of all time, and it's always cool hearing people talk about it. But Leonard Maltin and Mark Evanier are on that panel, so I thought that sounded cool. And you and I are big Maltin fans.
Yeah.
Even after you got the Maltin lecture.
Oh, I loved it. I loved every moment of it.
All right, we got Behind the Battle, War of the Planet of the Apes. So it's like guys talking about War of the Planet of the Apes, which I haven't seen it yet, but I've heard it's amazing.
Howl's Love, not seen it yet. I still never saw the second one.
Oh, the second one's great.
I gotta see it. I saw the first one.
The first one's great. Second one, they're really good. It's quietly like this amazing trilogy, and like Matt Reeves, like nobody's really paying attention, but like he's gotten to do like some amazing stuff. And yeah, so it's very pretty cool there. But yeah, so I thought that sounded cool. Then you got the Bayfront stuff happening on Friday. This would be our Bayfront day if we decide to do this, because starting at 11 is Steven Universe, which the ones that I have seen are very good. And also one of the voices, I didn't realize this until I saw this on here, is Dee Dee Magno Hall. If anybody knows who that is, do you know who that is?
No.
That is Dee Dee from the Mickey Mouse Club, also member of the party.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Huh.
So she's become a very pretty big in the voice acting world.
That's cool.
And then also AJ Michalk of Ali and AJ, also of Goldberg's fame. Yeah.
Huh.
So that sounds cool.
That's cool.
Also, if we're gonna do Bayfront, we're gonna be in there.
To be in there by then.
All right. Then I thought they're bringing back Hey Arnold, and they're doing a Hey Arnold panel, and I thought this was interesting because they're gonna have all the classic voice actors, and then of course, since it's kids, they had to get new kids. Yeah. So it's the old ones and the new ones.
That's cool.
And here's a trivia question.
Okay.
Do you know what movie did they put the first Hey Arnold in front of before it was on actual Nickelodeon?
Like what did it air in front of?
Yeah, what movie? It was a Nickelodeon movie, and I think it might have been the first Nickelodeon film movie. Feature-length movie in the theater. I saw this with my grandmother.
Snow Day?
Before that.
Man.
But
Harriet the Spy?
Yes.
Ah.
And that was the first Hey Arnold. That was the short. Yeah.
That's cool. Huh. Good trivia.
I really like Harriet the Spy.
Yeah, it was good. Because that was, what's her name?
Yeah. Michelle
Trachtenberg. Yeah.
From Pete and Pete.
Yeah.
Because that was she did Pete and Pete, and then she did that. All right, we got I Know That Voice, the series. So, that documentary, I Know That Voice. Mm-hmm. Now they're making a TV series, a new documentary series. And then it's all
anytime you have voice acting.
So voice actors.
Those are always fun.
And I love Tara Strong. So, anything that she's, because, she's the voice of everything.
Yeah.
And, all right, but then we're going to probably be in the Bayfront. Because over at the Bayfront, you got this new Adult Swim show. It's called The Jellies. And it's got guys from Loiter Squad, which you were the one that told me about that. Yeah. And Phil Lamar, who is great and everything. And, so there you go. And then there's a Stan Lee who's doing a panel.
That's pretty great.
Tribute to Stan Lee, who just got his handprints at Grauman's Chinese Theater today.
Really?
Yes.
And Kevin Smith is hosting that.
Yes. And Adam Savage is going to be there. Max Anderson. All right, then you got Street Fighter 30th Anniversary, which I just thought sounded cool because,
Street Fighter.
They're doing a lot. They do a lot more video game stuff now, which makes sense.
Huh. Yeah.
All right, then. Why is this on here?
I don't know.
I don't know why I put this on here. Oh, Ryan North is on this.
Oh, there. He's interviewing her.
Still Ryan North.
Okay.
Because I was like, Spotlight on Marguerite Bennett. That sounds cool, but I don't know who that is. And I was like, oh, Ryan North.
Yeah.
Because you know how much we like Ryan North.
Yeah. It's Dinosaur Comics.
All right. Then we got Tales of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, which is the cartoon, but I just thought it was cool because, the whole voice cast.
Sean Astin's going to be there.
Sean Astin.
Mae Whitman.
Mae Whitman. Yeah. So, fun.
That's cool.
Over at the Bayfront, Rick and Morty, which, Dan Harmon, Sarah Chalk, Chris Parnell. Moderated by Brian Quinn.
Oh, that's cool.
But that's one of those things that, if we are not in there already,
then we're not getting in.
We're definitely. So we, over in Hall H is Game of Thrones. Something I'm not gonna definitely.
I heard they just started lining up for that right now.
I think they are. There are people probably in Hall H line right now.
Oh, I'm sure.
Maybe. I don't know. Is there anything big on Thursday? Maybe not.
They're probably just waiting for Game of Thrones already.
Well, no, but they do the wristbands every day.
That's right.
That's why they were able to prevent the camp out. All right, then there's a Jack Kirby panel, which is always great, and it's Mark Evanier and then a bunch of other of his friends and stuff. And all right, then this one I really would like to go to.
You're talking about.
Oh, but it's during the freaking. If we go to the Bayfront, we're not going to do that.
We'll conflict with that.
I'm if you want to do the Bayfront, I'm 100% of that but it is Imagineering panel. It's a 55 years of theme park animatronics, so not just Disney, but it's the creative director for Garner Holt, which make a ton of rides, and it's discussions with Bob Gurr, and Garner Holt himself, and if you don't know who Bob Gurr is, you're not. That's he designed a ton of stuff at Disney. He I think his name's on one of the trains,
probably, or at least one of the windows or something.
Yeah.
Main Street.
I just hit the mic real hard. And they're going to be talking all about animatronics at theme parks.
That's pretty cool.
That's kind of that sounds awesome. Yeah. I know, and that's where I'm I feel a lot of people aren't going to think that's awesome, and so maybe that's
probably get in there.
Definitely, if we don't get in, if we don't do
that would be the one to go to. Then.
It's definitely. Although they are doing a show for this is the Ballroom 20, which is this I've been to this panel before. It's just here's a bunch of famous people
talking about stuff.
So you got David Harbour, Christopher Maloney, Colin, a bunch of leading men basically from all the big shows.
Talking about stuff.
The first one I went on that had Matt Smith and stuff. So it was crazy. All right, and then so speaking of video game panels, this is Middle Earth: Shadows of War, which is a follow-up to the Shadow of Mordor, which was a really. But I just put that because Kumail is in it, and he's gonna be, and so he's gonna be on the panel.
Dude, I want to meet him so bad.
He's usually I've seen him walking around every year.
But what about now? The Big Six is kind of a hit. Is he gonna be past that now?
I don't know. Find out. I saw him and Jonah just walking around last year, and I talked to him.
He's so funny. Yeah. And that movie was so good.
All right, we got Genius of Animation, Cartoon Legends, and Game Changers. These are a ton of big animated people, the guy Aladdin, Lion King, Moana. Yeah. This is all
huge animation people.
So I just thought that sounded cool. All right, Robot Chicken. We got Milo Star versus the Forces of Evil. These are 2 new Disney XD shows, and then Milo Murphy's Law.
And Weird Al is on that.
Weird Al is on that panel.
So that's another.
And Swampy Marsh. And so again, if we don't get into Bayfront, definitely want to go check that out, because Cheryl's gonna go to that.
Yeah.
And she might even have some pull over there, because she worked for Swampy, and so there we go. And then there's a Geek and Sundry panel with Felicia Day, which is always. They're doing a bunch of Guild stuff, because I guess it's the 10th anniversary of the Guild
anniversary thing.
All right, this is very interesting. Hall H, Twin Peaks panel. It doesn't say that David Lynch is going to be there, but I can't imagine. It says casting creators.
Yeah.
It doesn't specifically say who's going to be there, but the idea of David Lynch at Hall H,
that's kind of crazy.
Is kind of nuts. And I'm sure, and Kyle MacLachlan, I still haven't watched the new Twin Peaks.
No, because
I've heard it's on Showtime.
Yeah.
I don't have Showtime. Yeah. I'm gonna have to figure out a way to watch it. But I know I want to watch it.
Yeah.
Because Twin Peaks is even fresher for you.
Yeah, I just watched it
everybody says it's great. Everybody that's watched the new stuff. Next up, we got Dave Gibbons, who was the illustrator. He drew Watchmen. He drew, and he's just a really cool artist. And he's British, and listening to British dudes talk is something I enjoy. All right, then there's a DuckTales panel, and that's going to have David Tennant, Ben Schwartz, Kate McCucci, Danny Pudi, Beck Bennett. So it's a lot of really funny people.
Yeah.
And cool stuff on there. So, again, then you got The Gifted, which is another. It's like the X-Men. Right? This is the 20th Century Fox one.
Yeah.
So, just interesting, just curious. But that's going to be in Ballroom 20, so it's probably going to be nuts. Then you got Preacher in Hall H. Seth Rogen is the producer, and then you have all the Preacher, which I haven't really watched. I watched the pilot, and I liked it. This is interesting. Over in the library, like I said, they're doing some podcasting stuff. They're doing an Earwolf panel with Scott Aukerman and Paul Scheer.
That's pretty fantastic.
And then a ton of Earwolf, so it probably will be a ton of people there, all funny, tons of comedians. So again, if we don't, but
who knows?
But I feel like that will be really easy because who's gonna go over to the library?
I don't know, but I would love to see that.
Yeah. So
hot talkerman.
Then we got Star Wars and fandom, and I just thought because it's this is why I just thought this sounded cool because it's talking about Star Wars' presence at Comic-Con before the movie even came out, and he does this slideshow, and I just think there's probably just some really cool. I thought you would be. Yeah. Sounds like something you would be. All right, then we got superstars in children's fiction.
R.L. Stein.
R.L. Stein's in that, yes. So yeah.
And then,
but then the reason that we might get to the Bayfront at 10 in the morning,
Bob's Burgers.
I feel like I'm feeling more positive about this.
Yeah,
because I really want you to go to that Bob's Burgers panel.
I really want to see it,
and because it's going to be everybody. It's going to be everybody.
Did you watch? They did one more episode.
Yeah, they did.
Just randomly, right?
Yeah.
Which
they did a 23rd episode, and it was great.
Yeah. I love that show so much.
It's so good.
It's so amazing.
Okay. We have to.
We do, right?
We're going to get to the Bayfront at 10.
It's only 50 minutes long.
No.
Why is it short?
I don't know. Well, because it starts at 4:15 and ends at 5:05. They're all 50 minutes, actually.
No, those ones are listed at an hour.
I don't know. And then you got the Tick.
New Tick.
That's a new one. They're actually going to have a whole experience and stuff. Because it's happening. It starts in August, and Ralph Garman is hosting that Q&A.
That's cool.
With the entire cast. And then you got Archer over at the Bayfront, and then here's the big thing: is that they're doing a Defenders panel in Hall H. That's gonna be nuts.
Yeah. That's gonna be hard to get into.
And then J. Michael Straczynski is doing a spotlight panel. He's a big screenwriter, and he wrote that book. And he most recently Sense8. Which I finally watched the first episode.
Oh, yeah?
No wonder they're canceling that show because they film everything on location and they're in 9 different countries.
It's super expensive then.
I found out it costs $6 million an episode.
Oh my gosh. Is it good though?
It's really good. So far, it's really
someone
weird.
Been freaking out that you need to watch it.
Oh,
right?
Brian's all about
that's
it.
That's right.
But there's a reason why, because I guess now they've basically said, okay, fine, we'll come out with a movie sometime next year, but that show was not going to sustain itself.
It's a lot of money.
They've spent because they're filming on location in Korea, England, United States, parts of all over the world on location.
Well, you get what you drive for.
I guess. Get what you drive for.
That's the second time that worked.
All right, then Writer's Journey. Just another writer's panel.
Yeah, this one sounded interesting.
Yeah. So what they need to do once they have material ready to go out to the masses. So this sounds like the actual process.
Yeah.
Of getting published.
Yeah. It sounds like it.
It does. But this is books and but they're talking about all kinds of stuff. So yeah. I don't know. I'm really curious about that one. But I've been burned by so many of those writers' panels.
Just tell me. Give me something. Go.
All right. Then I just put this because in case we need something to do. Sharknado 5, Ian Ziering.
Yeah.
It's my guy. All right. Then we got Overwatch. So there's an Overwatch panel.
Yeah. More video games.
And then they're doing DC always does these. They premiere their new animated movies at Comic-Con. So this year it's Batman and Harley Quinn is the new one. And I forgot who's the voice of Kevin Conroy is in this one. I know sometimes they change Batman voices for different things. But Paget Brewster is Poison Ivy. I thought that was cool.
Huh.
And so they're all gonna be there.
That's cool.
And, yeah. Then they're doing a screening of Princess Mononoke at the Horton Grand. I thought that was cool.
You can't go to that, though.
Nope. because that would go over our panel.
Yes.
Cards Against Humanity is doing a panel.
Huh.
I thought that was cool. Adam Savage.
That's cool.
Doing a panel by himself. This is what I was really sad. Going up against us, I feel like this is a programming. Unfortunately, it's just the way it worked. But Dave Kellett's doing a panel for Drive, his sci-fi webcomic, at the same time as our webcomic.
Like the one other webcomic related thing is directly pitted against ours.
And then ours, and then they are. See, here's the thing. If I was caught up, but they're showing episode 11 of Twin Peaks.
Oh, yeah, which doesn't help.
On Thursday night after our panel.
But ours, just to make sure, 9 o'clock.
32 AB.
32 AB. Eddie D'Angelini, Madeline Holly Rosing.
It's going to be a late night.
Patrick Scullin, 9 to 10 p.m.
After we had spent all day in Indigo Bar.
Man, we didn't need to be sitting still in air conditioning all day for us to be ready for that.
All right. I mean, I think we should do it. I think it'll be worth it going to that Bob's Burgers.
I'm just going to stretch here real quick in between days. I'm just standing to stretch.
I'm going to let you make the call on Thursday night.
What we're going to do.
But I'm down.
Oh my gosh. It's so hot in here, you guys. You don't even know. There's sweat stains all over the chairs and the tables.
It's pretty bad.
It's bad.
Well, let's hurry it up.
All right,
here.
lightning round on Saturday.
Lightning round on Saturday. All right, spotlight on March. Once again, John Lewis, Congressman John Lewis, who marched at Selma. That's what it's about.
Yeah.
And he's going to be there talking about that comic. And I met him. I didn't go to his panel, but 2 years ago I met him, and it was just very holy crap, I can't believe I'm talking to this guy, shake his hand. And especially, I almost feel like I owe it to him to go to this after Trump, when Trump mocked him on Twitter.
But is it important enough to you to get up at 10 a.m. on Saturday?
No. Because that'll be the night I've hung out with Josh probably.
Well, and the night that our panel is until 10 the night before.
All right, but then at 11 in Ballroom 20 on Saturday, a Riverdale panel, and oh my gosh, I love Riverdale. But Saturday is our Hall H day. We're gonna get in there. All right, but there's a Will Eisner, The Spirit, and that's featuring Sergio, Jeff Smith, talking about Will Eisner.
Yeah.
There's a SpongeBob panel with everybody.
Is it a new one they're doing?
They're doing they're
stop motion one. That's
they're with a stop motion special.
That's pretty cool.
And they're doing a read through. The fans will pick a classic Halloween episode and they do a table read of it.
That's really cool.
And it's everybody. So I know you might be, if we're not, whatever we're, because I know how much you like SpongeBob.
I do like SpongeBob. I put a lot of SpongeBob stuff on our wedding registry when I got married. All
right, and then we got Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Summer of the Turtles with Kevin Eastman and Aubrey Sitterson and Stan Sakai talking about comics. But Warner Brothers Hall H is at 11:30, and last year we got in at the tail end of the Warner Brothers.
Yeah,
because it's they'll do their DC stuff. We missed that, but then we got in like they were doing the Fantastic Beasts,
right,
and then something else, and we just missed the wand. Derek got a wand.
Yeah.
If I hadn't, Emily and I would have gotten wands if Emily had to go to the bathroom and I ran into somebody I knew. And Derek's as I'm talking, Derek's get in here, they're handing out wands. And I was still
so close.
But yeah. All right. Then there's the other one, the other panel that I've never been to, but I heard is one of the best.
Yeah.
Comic panel is the Quick Draw with, you can watch Sergio just freaking, and Quick him Draw. And Scott Shaw, and they are the two super fast.
That's always hard to get into.
Yeah.
Because I've tried.
I know you've tried to get into it.
Yeah.
Because I know Sergio's.
It's a small room, so.
Yeah. But, I mean, you usually get to talk to Sergio during the Mad panel, so that's
that's pretty cool.
Really cool. You've talked to Sergio. And then you got the Simpsons panel, which is always, it's the only one of those Fox Animation panels besides Bob Burgers that I'm remotely interested in.
Yeah.
I still can't believe we went to American Dad and Family Guy that one time. Gosh. And I remember Jeff just wanted to get up and ask, why do you guys suck so bad? It's what would happen if I just did that?
The Family Guy one was okay. But the American Dad one, you could just tell, they did not want to be there.
No.
It was horrible.
Like, because at least the Family Guy one, like they sang and stuff, and they did like a full like thing. And
is Family Guy still going?
Yeah, can you believe that?
I mean, I guess
Simpsons is still going. I mean, they're 29. Simpsons has been on the air since I was 9 years old.
Yeah,
that's insane.
I mean, they're gonna at least get to 30, right?
Oh, I think they're renewed through like past 30.
Crazy.
They're making so much money. That's the thing. It's a money-making machine that will never. That's the thing. They can't. There's no reason for them to stop.
Yeah.
Because they just like they're all making so much money. Those like the cast members like barely have to work and they're making a fortune.
Yep.
It's just printing money. So they're like, why stop? Then you got cartoon voices, which is always great.
Always fun.
No matter who is on it. You got their women. Okay, then they're doing Women Who Kick Ass with Charlize Theron, Hall H.
Very cool.
So that's what we're looking at as our Hall H schedule. Will be Warner Brothers, Charlize Theron. So other panel, you got Sid and Marty Krofft. They're always cool. I went to one of their panels.
Yeah, I never have.
Time. You got another J. Michael Straczynski one.
This one's a writing.
I want to ask him because I want to ask him a question like, hey, I got your book and it's like super out of date. Like, what of this? Like, what would you like? Yeah. What like? Does any of this like even remotely like apply? Like,
well, this one it says it's not a lecture; it's a Q&A format only. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah, but if we're in Hall H, I'm definitely going. There's a Star Trek Discovery panel. This show is
not doing it for you.
I don't know, man.
No.
Well, one, I'm still beyond any. As good as it is, it could be the best show ever. It's on that stupid CBS All Access thing.
You can't watch it then.
No, I'm not getting CBS All Access. No. You know what? Their other big thing that they're using to advertise it is the graphic that is advertising for me to purchase CBS Access on PS4 is for the Candy Crush show hosted by Mario Lopez.
Let me tell you, Janelle, who should be, I guess, the ideal candidate for watching that, like the demographic, she has no interest in it.
No.
Who's that show for?
I don't know.
Who wants to watch
it? It's for Mario Lopez to have another hosting job.
Guess so. Oh my gosh.
What?
It's a game show-ish.
Candy Crush game show. But anyways, I cannot believe they really think this is going to sell CBS All Access.
I don't think
I'm not getting another streaming service. I refuse.
Yeah, I don't. I think they're going to be disappointed, and it's a bummer because they're going to blame Star Trek for it.
Well, this reminds me of Yahoo Screen.
Yeah.
And the freaking Yahoo Screen debacle.
And Community.
And the fact that Paul Feig now, I don't know if you've seen this. You know, there's that Paul Feig show that was on, and he actively, because like you can't, he's like, pirate this show, tell all your friends, because he's trying to like get it like out there so he can try and get another season on another network.
Right.
But the fact that nobody's even seen it, nor can they watch it, because Yahoo Screen is gone, but because people have like downloaded it and rehosted it and hosted everywhere
out there,
because I've watched one episode and it was really good,
but you could not.
But it's a Paul Feig show.
I didn't even watch that season of Community because you couldn't.
It's the Xbox app at least was usable, but if you were trying to do it in your browser,
it was broken.
Yeah,
I mean, I watched like 3 or 4 episodes, but it was so frustrating.
So you still haven't finished?
I still haven't finished it. I think it's on Hulu now.
Yeah.
So I need to go back and see if it is, but. It was so frustrating to watch it. Their thing was just broken.
Well, because it would air the same commercial over and over again.
Well,
it would,
and then it would like freeze on a commercial, and then there was no way to
just
scroll.
Stuck.
So you'd have to just start the episode over again. So I would watch an episode, get 10 minutes in, and have to start it over again, and I'd be like, I forget it. I can't do this. It was horrible.
All right, Richard Garriott's doing another thing, and this is him talking about his trip to space.
Going to space.
And he flew to the International Space Station. And he's writing a memoir about it because there already is a documentary, which I highly recommend. And he's a fascinating human being. And so I just thought it was cool. I thought this was just super weird. Marvel's making a Black Eyed Peas comic, and all the Black Eyed Peas except Fergie are going to be there to talk about it.
Really?
I just thought that was one of those weird. I always try and put something real weird.
Yeah, that's pretty weird.
It's pretty weird.
Apple D App is going to be there.
Yeah. And Will.i.am and Taboo, and they made a comic book. Then there in the Horton Grand Theater, there's an MST3K. I've watched them all.
pretty great.
They're really, you have to watch them.
I intend to.
And Jonah is so good, and the cameos, like everybody cameos, and then there's new cameos. Seinfeld's in it, like Joel Hodgson, Jerry Seinfeld, friend. If I have one minor goal for this Comic-Con, like I want to meet Joel Hodgson. He seems like the coolest dude. He was on Marin, and like he just seems so chill, and he's super cool. And also, like, I knew he was a Christian, but like the way he talks about on Marin, he had this whole little thing, like they talked about, like, what it means to be like the whole like Christian, this is bogus, and like and it was like if you were talking. So I feel like you and Joel Hodgson will just instantly like hit it off when it comes to that kind of. And he just seems like a super cool dude.
Well,
like,
plus, I mean,
and I just hope that like maybe we'll see him walking around or something.
I would love to, because I've been a fan of him at C3K like since forever.
Yeah.
And I love B movies like
other. These new ones, oh my gosh.
The crazy part is the entire month we were in Europe, we didn't watch a single television show or movie. I mean, like a couple times. You were out
experiencing all this stuff.
Yeah, and there was nothing in English. So, I mean, a couple times I flipped through just to like see what it looked like. Like I found an Italian judge show that I watched for like 2 minutes. I didn't know what was going on, but they're all yelling at each other, and that's pretty good. But so I didn't watch any TV shows, no movies. And we were doing stuff. I don't miss it, but I am so behind on everything. It's crazy.
Then there's a Box Brown actual spotlight panel, and I am really excited because I had heard about this and then forgot about it. But his next book is called "Is This Guy for Real?" and it's about Andy Kaufman.
Oh, that's awesome.
And
I love Andy Kaufman too.
Oh, dude. But yeah, so I don't know, and then we're gonna be in Hall H. So the next thing,
Stranger Things.
We got this Hall H schedule is crazy.
It's pretty nuts.
Because Stranger Things season 2, they're gonna show new footage.
Oh, even just the stills they've released, I'm like,
every time I see him in Ghostbusters costumes, I have like a heart attack.
It's amazing. They know exactly what they want, what we want. Like,
all right, and then you got Robert Kirkman and Todd McFarlane in conversation over in room 6DE at 3:30. That's too cool.
That's cool.
You got Ryan North is going to be on the Marvel Cup of Joe panel.
Well, because he's Squirrel Girl. He did Squirrel Girl.
Yeah. Then Scott Shaw is doing his Oddball Comics Live, which is another one of those. I've heard it's the greatest panel because he just finds all the weird stuff, like Batman saying boner and all that stuff.
Right.
And, and then after Stranger Things is Westworld in Hall H.
I've never seen any of.
Yeah, well, still big cast. Ed Harris, Danny Newton. I don't know if I don't think Anthony Hopkins is going to be there, but Jeffrey Wright is going to be there, and Evan Rachel Wood. And I finally and here's why you will enjoy that panel, because look who's moderating.
Oh, nice.
Reggie.
That's pretty cool.
Reggie Watts. But I had specifically saved the Westworld finale for this summer, like when I kicked off. So I watched it. My gosh, that show is so good.
Yeah.
It's so freaking good. Cause like the way they there's the movie, but I don't know, just what they did on that show. They did some really cool stuff. Like just really oh my gosh, did not see that coming. It's really good. All right, then this sounded crazy. This new sci-fi and Netflix show called Ghost Wars, and Vincent D'Onofrio's in it, and it's like some weird, crazy horror thing. Just sounded cool. That's over in 6A, and then the Marvel panels at 5:30 in Hall H.
Yeah,
we all know what that's. We're talking Infinity War. They're probably going to announce more about Marvel Land at Disneyland, and then possibly some Phase 4 stuff.
Black Panther.
Well, 100%. But we're talking it could be going beyond that.
Yeah.
They could be dropping some bombs. Well, definitely Captain Marvel.
Yeah, Captain Marvel. What did I say?
You said Miss Marvel. It's a separate character.
Yeah, you're right.
All right, there's a 10th anniversary guild reunion at the San Diego Bayfront, which also will be cool because I know fans of that show.
Like that show.
Another Kevin Eastman panel. Kevin Eastman's super entertaining and super cool. So if you get a chance, definitely check him out.
Did you ever hear David's story about meeting Felicia Day? Has he told you that?
Yes.
Oh. Real quick, I have to just tell it super fast.
It's very typical.
He met her
David.
like at a, he works in various, doing media for different stuff. And he was working a show where she was there, and he mentioned to like a coworker that he was a fan of her. And so they're like, oh, you want to meet her? And he's like, no, that's cool. But then they like had him meet her, and she's like, oh, hi. And he's like, oh, hey, yeah, I'm a big fan. She's like, oh, you like the Guild? And he's like, well, I've never watched that.
Why didn't he just say Serenity?
Because he didn't
like Firefly.
Well, he just, I don't know. He did. He's like, oh, I've seen you on this. And she's like, oh, okay, that's great. You should watch the Guild. And then like that was it. Like, I think that was like their whole conversation. So
pretty funny.
It's pretty great. It's why he's good like at doing that job though, because he's not
never gets starstruck.
Yeah. So, but anyway, that's pretty great. Okay. He'll probably correct me on the story later on, but it's something along those lines.
All right, there's a Kevin Eastman panel, and he's always cool. Then this sounded interesting. Hulu, Seth Rogen's just everywhere.
Yeah.
So he's producing and directing a show called Future Man, and it's got like Josh Hutcherson in it, and just sounds, and it's moderated by Paul Scheer, and it just sounds kind of.
That's crazy.
Goofy. David Duchovny is doing an X-Files panel regarding because I guess Audible's doing a audio drama series, but it's like new stuff.
Interesting.
It's called X-Files Cold Cases, but David Duchovny is going to be there. So if you're an X-Files fan,
that's cool.
Broad City over at the Bayfront, they're always funny, great show. So Bayfront's going to be like, sounds like it's Comedy Central stuff over there. I think they're also like Another Period and some of those other shows. But
that show's funny.
Yeah. All right. Then there is another Not So Strange Bedfellows, a relationship between comics and professional wrestling with like Scott Loss and Michael Kingston, headlocked. And then there's a trauma panel. They're doing a trauma adaptation of William Shakespeare's The Tempest.
Of course they are.
Sure, it's going to be insane. And Lloyd Kaufman is always fascinating because he's like one of those king of indie film type guys. He's been in the business forever. And if you think about the kind of people that have broken through with trauma, like they have a pretty good pedigree. They're like the new World Pictures, you know. Well, New World Pictures is still around, but they're kind of the next thing. All right, last thing, Sunday. Paul Dini Spotlight, 10 a.m. They're doing there's a new. This is why I was hoping you would be there on Sunday because does Luke know they're making a new Marvel Spider-Man cartoon?
Yeah,
and they're gonna unveil it's the first time they're gonna feature the debut. They're gonna say who the new voice is.
It's very exciting.
Who do you think it's gonna be?
I have no idea.
Do you think it's going to be like a big name?
Could be.
Or it's going to be some random kid?
It's going to be Andrew Garfield.
All right. This sounds nuts. The world premiere of Lego Scooby-Doo Blowout Beach Bash. So it's a Lego Scooby-Doo movie with, of course, but Matthew Lillard still he's
doing
always
Shaggy.
Doing Shaggy.
Oh, I mean, he does a good Shaggy.
And then spotlight on Bruce Timm, who does all the Batman stuff. Cartoon Voices 2, which is always good. Yeah. There's a Buffy 20th anniversary thing for books. Talking about the books. I don't know. Dirk Gently panel hosted by Kevin Smith.
That's pretty great.
Stephen King, Mr. Mercedes, featuring, as I like to call him, the best of the Brendans, Brendan Gleeson.
Oh, yeah.
Who is going to be starring. I don't think he's going to be there for the panel.
The best of the other Brendan.
He's the best of the Brendans. Come on. He's the best of us.
I was there at that stand-up set last night. He's the best of us.
But the trailer of this looks really cool, and this show looks amazing. But I have no idea how to watch this show. This is the world we live in now because it's on something called AT&T Audience Network.
What is that?
I don't know, but this show looks so cool, and I have no idea how to watch it. So I might go to the panel to try and find out how to watch this show.
Is that what the new world is going to look like? Like all these separate
streaming things? I think at least for a while.
Till they realize like that not enough people are going to buy into that?
Yeah.
Because there's not enough.
This is where we're at now. Because remember, for a while, everything was on Netflix.
Yeah.
And now it's all splintered out.
I got Netflix, Amazon, and Hulu.
Here's what's going to happen.
Any further.
Here's the thing that's happening. Me too. Here's the thing. It could be, I know it's a lot of people are saying it's a bad thing, but it might be a good thing because it might show them that they need to stop this garbage.
Yeah.
CISO's about to go under.
Is it?
Yes. Unfortunately.
I know there's a lot of good stuff on there, but
it's about to go under, and maybe it'll be a tail. Like, you need to stop this.
Yeah.
Just splintering everything out. Because here's what happens. These people, the licensors get mad at Netflix. They think they're not getting a good enough deal, and they go take their ball elsewhere, thinking they can do better than Netflix. Right. And that's why we have all this stupid crap everywhere. And like, I'm not paying more money than I already am.
Audience Network?
Like, what is that?
I don't know.
What is that?
Boo.
Is that only on like if you have to have AT&T Uverse?
I don't know.
Like, what the frick? And this thing looks awesome. Like, the trailer looks great.
And that's what they're hoping, is they're going to say, okay, I'll get their new service.
Nope.
Not doing it, guys.
I'm not getting a service just to watch a show.
Yeah. I would rather pay a little bit more to get more Netflix stuff if that's what it comes to.
Like, if you start tiering Netflix, at least it's still on Netflix. It's
all one thing. I don't want to have to click another app.
Yeah. I don't like that.
I'm okay with doing Amazon, Hulu, and Netflix. Like, I can do 3.
Mm-hmm.
And different. Each have.
And I'm doing that plus my 2 wrestling ones.
Wrestling stuff. I get that. Fine.
But then I draw But now all the wrestling stuff starting to splinter off into separate things out. I'm like, no, because everyone's like, why don't you have Flow Slam? Why don't you do this? I'm like, because those are all. There's one called. They're like so much stuff's on Flow Slam. I'm like, Flow Slam's another $20 a month.
Yeah, no way.
I don't know.
You got enough stuff to watch.
Yeah.
Just between the 3 main ones, there's enough stuff that you could never watch even close to all of it.
It's crazy.
No matter how much you watch. So what's the point? Not paying for more, guys.
We'll rant over. There's a Doctor Who panel again, finally. I'm assuming the new Doctor might be there.
That's cool.
Maybe not. It doesn't say, but maybe she will be there now.
Well, they hadn't announced her at that point.
Yeah, it's true. But everybody's going to be there. So it's the first time. I'm not even going to try to get into this because I tried multiple years, and especially after Josh's.
Yeah.
But it is later in the day. I don't know, dude.
That's the panel that began the breaking of Josh.
Yeah, I know.
Don't fall for it.
No. I've gotten 1 year for freaking Doctor Who. I made it into the last shoot, and then I didn't get in.
Yeah.
I was so frustrated. All right. Well, then there's a Hanna-Barbera 60th anniversary panel, and I mean, where can you go wrong with that? Sounds great. It's Hanna-Barbera. Also, it was, how we were talking about all the weird, like there was like the Mexican Top Cat movie.
Yeah.
There's a South American. They just unveiled some Hanna-Barbera movie that's only going to be in like another. I forgot which character it was. And then there's that freaking Tom and Jerry Willy Wonka movie, which looks nuts. There's a new one, Tom and Jerry and the Wizard of Oz. Yeah. They're doing all these new
my kids have watched a lot of like the weird Tom and Jerry ones. And they're pretty good. They're weird but good.
So yeah, it's a lot of classic. It's gonna be people talking about all the classic like stuff and then new stuff and other stuff. And
that's cool.
And then Terry Crews has a new comic called Notorium. And he's gonna be talking about it.
That's cool.
It's Terry Crews.
Yeah.
That's all I got for Sunday.
Sunday's always short.
All right.
That's good.
I'm tired.
So we gotta wrap this sucker.
This is a double bonus episode.
Double super secret. So you're driving down, right?
Yeah.
You get what you drive for.
I do.
It's the name of this episode.
But our hotel has free parking.
It's good.
And that way, if I need a car, I have it. Last year, I parked my car and just left it and touch it. But it's nice.
Nice to know it's there
and
if you need it.
It's like the train doesn't make sense from here.
Yeah. It's too messy.
So it's just faster just to drive.
Yeah.
Hour and a half there. Boom.
Get what you drive for.
Get that Lucha Libre burrito on the way, maybe. Freaking love that place. I went there again while you were gone. Lucha Libre.
I saw your picture.
Freaking good.
Well, thank you, listeners, for going on this journey with us. If you can't be there at Comic-Con with us, now you feel like you were there. Yeah,
you were there. And we are gonna, now that I know the portable recorder works and sounds great, definitely gonna be recording a lot more stuff this year.
That's good.
We're gonna be doing probably just check-ins, and then maybe doing some interviews with people, whoever we come across.
Get some plugs.
Other Benview Network people. I do have plugs that I just never. I got one from Andrew.
That's good.
And I never used it.
Well, we get more.
We need to get some more. With you, I need you around because you're more assertive.
Sometimes. Depends on the context.
But you do a thing. I like the thing where you like kind of act as like the producer. And like it makes me feel more professional.
Well, it was almost like at the open mic last night. It was like that. Like
it's like
he apologized, no, but thanks for getting him in there. Like,
I like having that.
I'm your like fake manager.
Yeah.
They don't know.
And then sometimes we'll trade roles. Like, okay, now you be the manager guy.
Yeah. Whatever works.
It's nice having the buffer.
Yeah.
Because sometimes just on your own, I get nervous.
I get it.
I know you do.
Yeah. Again, it depends.
You either get nervous or you get sucked in.
Well, that's definitely true. I am terrible at that. There's nothing worse.
I think I have a new solution for if we get sucked in. Just stick a recorder in front of their face. Just be like, hey,
interview them. You're on the spot.
They might be like, ugh.
I don't know, though. Some of those guys, I think that might be a mistake. Like that rock guy. Oh, gosh. Yeah.
Don't stay away from the rock guy.
I'm always tricked,
You almost got tricked by him
again
at like Long Beach.
Ugh. It's because I do like his art style.
And he's really nice.
Yeah, but then he like, here's my blah, blah, blah. And then he shows you. I'm like, no, I don't want to see that. No. All right.
Well, I had other stuff to talk about, but we're not going to talk about it. We'll talk about it next time.
That's good. We got lots of time
books,
to talk.
Movies, Netflix.
We can do like mini checkups on those things as we go throughout the Comic-Con.
I don't know. I got to stay up and do laundry.
Yeah, we should let you, dear listeners, get ready for your Comic-Con week.
All right. Well, that's going to do it. Be sure to go to radiobrendo.com for all of that, all of our stuff. Hit the contact form there if you want to talk to us. At BrendoMan on Twitter and Instagram. We're on Facebook, all that stuff. Tell your friends about us.
We would like that.
Very much. All right. Anything else, Phil?
Remember, you get what you drive for.
You get what you drive for. I think that's what we're calling
this. That's the name of the episode because I said so.
Well, for Radio BrendoMan, I'm Brendan Creecy.
And I'm Phil Vecchio.
Have a good one, everybody. And John Goobang too. Turn on the air. Whoa, sorry.
Oh my gosh, was that your stuff?
You got your little box with your pin and stuff, right?
Yeah.
You see I got my badge all ready to go. I got my pins. I redid my pins. I got my Comic-Con pin. I got my little Enzo pin. Look at little Enzo's coming with me to Comic-Con.
That's cool.
Oh, did I tell you I met up with Marty and Sarah again in Long Beach?
Oh, I saw. Why didn't you post
a picture
with them? Yeah.
But then we posted and then we took an even bigger group picture with a bunch of buddies, and it was fun.
That's
and cool. It was cool hanging out with them. And yeah.
I wonder if Steve's awake there.
Steve, are you awake? He's asleep.
I think he's out. I'm glad you hung out for a little bit.
Oh my gosh.
Wake up and go to bed. Don't forget this.
I know.
We gotta print Janelle's badge up still for her thing.
I feel like Derek did his off his phone.
I think I did last year too. But then I don't want to get down there and have it be a problem.
Yeah.
I'd rather just do it just in case. But I feel like I just did it on my phone before.
I feel like Derek.
It's just a barcode.
Yeah,
they don't like. Why do they need a paper?
I think it's just because they tell people that just because you know how it is. Sometimes you see like
you don't get like reception
well, like I don't know if you've ever been like at freaking Harkins if they only have one line open and then like people are fumbling around with their phones.
That makes sense. But if you're not like, if you have time, oh gosh, I'm stepping back from the mic here, guys.
Sorry.
What's happening? What's happening?
What did I eat today?
Oh. Garbage.
I had some leftover pizza. Oh.
Is it your wrestling one?
This is my last, Kevin Owens got his own DVD. Like, that's how far he's come. His own, so I had to get it.
Spot physical media.
But I had to support Kevin Owens.
Of course.
And it was sold out on Amazon to the point where I didn't get mine until it. Okay, YouTube. Since you can't see this, since Phil's on camera, but Phil just belts and then grew it, and then he belched it. It went back into his own face, and he gagged on his own belt.
That was foul. Oh. If you weren't enveloped in your own fart stench right now, you'd be gagging at what I just did over there. But I think you set up a barrier wall.
But I just saw you burp and then immediately go ugh.
That was really bad. I think because the air conditioner kind of blew it back in my face. It's foul.
All right.
Like a fart burp.
Good night, YouTube.